Sorry. Guys, I was just eating, okay? I was just eating. I was just hungry, all right? Your melon needs his nutrition, okay? And you're not being sensitive to that, all right? That's all it is. So, all right, let's get into some of the ones I missed over here, and then I will, start to catch up with the chat. You know, it's our bi-weekly Q&A live stream, answering as many of your questions as possible. I can't get to every single one of them. I'm not going to promise that, but I will try to do my best to answer every question I see. And thank you before all of this goes to everyone who does give generously. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Even to the people who I end up not saying thank you to. Extra thank yous to those people, because I thank you and also apologize for being in a rush here and being an inept human being. So let's see. What's my take on Death Clock? They're a cartoon band from a cartoon, but they got some bangers, though. Harrison Ferrugia is the new Meek Mill, says Topher Boy. Thank you. Okay, I think I believe you, maybe. I don't have any thoughts on Magic the Gathering. Gus Dapperton's music is just okay, though he has a very quirky sense of style. Hey, Melon, check out the Dusk Whales. They're an indie pop trio from D.C. I recommend their track In Year of Jubilee. Love ya, you fucking meme. Well, I appreciate that. I'm just going to punch that into the... I've had a hectic week. I haven't even had a chance to check out the last ones. I've not heard the Stone Woman EP. I Can Dab. That's good for you. And Captain Falcon, considering recent video game soundtrack, Xenoblade Chronicles 2 has one of the best I've heard. What I recommend you should check it out. Maybe I will check it out, but I just do not review soundtracks. That's just not really what I care about. Thoughts on Roy Blair and his album Cat Heaven? I have not heard it. Just want to say I love you, Josh. Thank you very much for the love. And thoughts on the new Rock Marciano? I have not heard it all the way through. I really don't have any thoughts on it so far. I really haven't even heard enough on it to know anything other than that it just kind of sounds like another Rock Marciano album. Little Boat 2 versus Little Boat 1. I like Little Boat 1 better. And can I scream, Brad Schenker, get on your knees and suck my juicy melons. Well, I there you go. Review the new Sabbath album. Love you. Best wishes. Stay thick. I might. I'm still thinking about it. All right. I'm gonna go back up to the chat over here because I think I'm mostly where I need to be. My thoughts on the new Sabbath. I might review it. I'm not exactly sure if I will just yet. I'm still kind of figuring out how exactly I feel about it. To me, it just kind of seems like a reiteration of a lot of the stuff that Isaiah Rashad and Chance the Rapper and Mick Jenkins have already done, but maybe with like a slightly more animated delivery. Production just seems so to me. His voice doesn't really grab me. The lyrics, though, seem pretty thought out, but I don't know. I just don't really feel anything about this record. I didn't feel anything about his last record. I just don't feel shit. I don't feel shit when it comes to his music. I really don't know why. Nothing about it really sticks out to me as being entirely unique. And I feel like the writing and performance is just kind of like okay. A review the set. Yeah, I did that one. All right. Am I going to review the new Autechre, or do you not have the guts? Yeah, I didn't review their last record. That was like 5 hours, and I'm certainly not going to review some album of theirs like 10 hours. Yeah, I probably don't have the guts. I'm not even going to pretend to have the guts, considering that I didn't even review their last project. But, although I don't ever want to say never. I guess we'll see. But short answer right now is I don't have the guts. And again, thank you to everybody whose questions I've been answering. I suck at saying thank you. How you doing, Anthony? What are your thoughts on the band Blonde Redhead? Top 3 albums by them. I don't have their top 3 albums off the top of my head, but my wife is super into them, and I enjoy their music too. Yeah, I mean, it's super pillowy and sexy and slightly shoegazy. Yeah, I mean, I think they're a cool trio. I don't really have anything else to say about their music other than that. It's very pretty, very sensual, and some of the tunes are pretty nice. Although recently I think they've really fallen off. Like one of their last records just sounded so phoned in, and I have no idea why. Maybe they're just tired of making music for that label. I really have no clue, but they have a lot of great older stuff. So 23 is a pretty good record. No, let's move on from there. And again, thank you. Hey Melon, what are your thoughts on Boards of Canada? Oh really? Does that turns 20 in a week? Rights to Children. I mean, they're pretty good. They have a great aesthetic, and I love that they were essentially inspired by like these nature documentary films. I just love that old school kind of analog synthesizer sound. To me, sometimes their compositions, especially on their comeback record, were a little lacking, but the sound is great. The sound is great. The aesthetic is very nice. It's really thick. It's a thick aesthetic. St. John Collection Volume 1 is a classic. Please consider reviewing it, says Fabian. Thank you very much for sending that in. I have no idea what that album is. So if it is a classic, it's a classic that I've never heard of in my entire life. Now I'm going to look it up, and I'm going to be really embarrassed because it's probably some record that I either know of vaguely or I should know. Yeah, I have no idea what this is, so, and it's probably not a classic either. So, I'm sorry to argue with you about that, but yeah, I have no idea what this is. But we'll see. When do you usually listen to albums, and what do I look for when putting together a review? I wouldn't say I look for any one particular thing. It just really kind of depends on the record itself, the genre of music, what the artist is trying to do with the record, what they're falling short in doing. And when I listen, usually I listen to fucking music all day and night. It's just kind of like I got to be on this thing in kind of like a 40 hours a week. Not even a 40. I'm over 40 hours a week at this point. It's just like my full-time job. So when am I listening to music? All the time. And when I'm not listening to music, I'm usually like either shooting or mapping out another video or going to the gym or just trying to chill with my loved ones. So it's a pretty tight schedule all the time. New Hop Along record is good, just not as sad. Hi, Mom, I'm on YouTube. Yeah, I am looking forward to the new Hop Along. I am planning on doing some coverage of that. Have you ever been as far as even wanted to look more like in any of... I have no idea what this question is. Is this English? Thank you very much for submitting, D. McNamara. But have I ever been as far as even wanted to look more like in any of your reviews? I don't know what any of those words mean collectively. So I'm sorry. I have to pass on that one. I recently got into the whole no-wave music scene. Nice. James Chance, Lydia Lunch, DNA, Mars. I was wondering what your thoughts on it are. Teenage Jesus and the Jerks is a good band. The no-wave scene was great. A lot of great, crazy, off-the-wall fucking music came out of that scene. Really creative and one-of-a-kind scene. But it was... And, Swan's early stuff came out of that scene. Or was at least inspired by it. Sonic Youth's earliest stuff was inspired by that scene. Really important moment in music, even if it is sort of overlooked in the grander scheme of things. Anthony, what are your thoughts on the band Nothing More? Very good, underrated band. I have not heard of them, so I cannot I cannot comment. Unfortunately, I'm not aware of the band's work. Nothing More. I imagine they're a newer band, a contemporary band. Thoughts on John Frusciante's solo work? It's kind of inconsistent over the course of his entire discography, but he's got a few pretty good records in there. Mainly Neandra Ladis. I don't think I've heard that one. Usually a T-shirt. Love your shit. Thanks for the good content. Well, thank you very much, Julian Roy, and thank you for watching and thank you for supporting. Yeah, I can't say too much about John's solo stuff. I'm not like super crazy about it, but I do recognize he's a super talented guitarist. And I did a negative review of one of his records one time, and he had like a reaction to it. It was pretty funny. And a lot of his fans like fucking were gonna kill me. Here's $15. Now start putting these videos back on the damn Fantano playlist. Was excellent podcast, going to sleep material. I'm sorry, this new episode will be in the playlist. That will be the case. I apologize for that. Charlie Howard, Latany Blantano. You know of the Magic Gang. I do not. And would you review their album? I have no idea what the Magic Gang is. The Magic Gang. God, this is not a new. The Magic Gang. Yeah, I don't think I'm aware of the Magic Gang. I don't much. Wait, yeah, I'm not aware of this band. I don't even really care for that name that much. Yeah, I'm not aware of the Magic Band, the Magic Gang. I want to use music-y words to explain my love. Provide me your opinions. I'm a sheep. You know what? Just honestly, listen to the record and listen to it so many times that you figure it out yourself, dude. You know, challenge yourself. Challenge yourself to write your own review about it, dude. I challenge you. Charlie, thank you. Let's argue Jeff Buckley would be considered the greatest alt-rock singer-songwriter of the 90s if he hadn't died so early. I even go as far as to say he'd surpass his father's career. I think he certainly had much more potential than, you know, that one album for sure. But it's kind of funny the way you put that. Usually when people talk about death in music, it's always like, oh, he died. Now everybody cares about his stuff way more than he did. But Jeff Buckley is certainly an instance in which, yeah, sure, like his death has definitely made Grace kind of like a cult record. But if he was able to continue in his career in music, like the guy was such a good singer, he was so good looking, like it was really only a matter of time before like he was one of the most mainstream motherfuckers in rock music of ever. So that's definitely an instance that you've cited there where it like that usual assumption about death and art and music careers doesn't necessarily hold as true as a lot of people would like to say. Probably answered this question in the past, but what's your favorite Tool album? Enema. That's my favorite Tool album. No, I'm joking about saying the title wrong, but I really do love that record. Tool song, oh man. You know, it's, as a bassist, I got to say Lateralis. That's just like a memorable, simple, but yet cutting edge and creative bass line. Quick ratings for each Tool album. I don't have any quick ratings for the Tool albums, but I'm actually looking forward to the next Tool album, which I hope they're recording and getting together right now. And I'm looking forward to that new Perfect Circle record next week. So expect reviews for that shit when it comes out. When again, Joseph, thank you. And Connor, thank you. I got to do a couple of these. Ow, ow, ow! And also another ow! When I see your vids, I feel how MC Ride felt when he saw you. How do you know how he felt? Did you ask him? Have you talked to him? Did he tell you how he felt when he met me? How did he feel? Did he feel sexy? Did he feel turned on? Did he feel like he needed a sip of water? Tell me how he felt. I want to know. Thank you, Connor. Have some money. Interpol best band. Neon Noir, thank you. Is Interpol the best band? I don't know, man. They got two pretty... They got one great record, one amazing record, a couple of great records, but then after that, it's like, I don't know. I don't know about that one. But I still love you, though. Spencer, thank you. Hi, Anthony. Do you know anyone who makes music like Hum or Failure that people don't really know about? I don't know. Kind of like those weird, somewhat alternative rock bands that have like some experimental vibes and stuff. I mean, maybe some of the earlier I don't know, maybe like a little bit of Slint or Drive Like Jehu, like earlier stuff, but that's too aggressive. I don't know. They do kind of sit in a really unique kind of area. Maybe bands like Carsick Cars or Mission of Burma might be kind of your style if you're into those bands. You know, they're not exactly like them. They don't come out of the same scene, the same era, but, you know, I feel like they certainly apply in a way. That's a good question. Oh, there's a band that's off the fucking top of my head that sounds a lot like those groups, and I can't... It's on the tip of my tongue. I can't say it right now, and I apologize. It's too many bands in my head. I'm having a brain fart. PC something or BC something? No. Yeah, I can't. Or LT, like Lieutenant. No, I can't remember. What do I think about Rise Against? I'm not into a whole lot of like the 90s, 2000s, like pop, skate, kind of like melodic hardcore type punk and stuff. It's not really my thing. I like the more hardcore stuff, the more aggressive stuff, the more crazy off the wall shit. Their lyrics seem to always be on point. Well, you know, bands like that do have pretty on point lyrics. I mean, Rise Against, I can't really knock sort of a lot of the lyricism and the politics in their music. I just don't really care for the sound all that much a lot of the time. And they do refer to similar themes a lot and always find new ways to send a powerful message. That is certainly the case. I can't really knock them on that front. They always do kind of have a purpose in their songs. I will give them that. Hamza, thank you. Hey, Ant, I've been a huge fan for years. Love you. Could I ask if you could check this out? I vocalized, engineered it. I think you are, okay. smarturl.it/Fane. Okay, let me, I'll save that for later. Thank you very much. Hey, Ant, are you ever going to review the new Flower Truck Sons of Kemet Panopticon? The Flower Truck I heard, unfortunately, it's just like maybe a little bit more one-dimensional than I was hoping it would be. It is pretty catchy, though, and I guess their sound didn't really stick out to me in this grander scheme of new wave revival, you know what I mean? And some of the songs were a little lackluster, but it wasn't a bad record. I'm probably going to pop it in the Why You Know review. The Sons of Kemet, I'm definitely planning on reviewing. I've been loving that record recently, and I am yet to put ears on the Panopticon, but it is on my to-do list. If I, you know, even if I don't dig on it, I guess I'm probably going to end up reviewing it. Also, if I had one band that is no longer around and come back, who would I like to see it be? Fucking Dope Body. I would love for Dope Body to come back, or at least been like more popular when they were still around, because I feel like they were a great band and a lot of people just didn't really appreciate them. I need your opinion on this argument. My friend believes that Eminem is a better artist than Kanye. Her reasoning is that he can rap faster. Am I wrong, or is she a little crazy? I wouldn't say your friend is crazy, but I would just say her appreciation of what makes rap music good is just a little, I don't know, simple, you know, overly reductive, because I mean, there are rappers out there who rap faster than Eminem. So, I mean, if that's the case, then like, you know, aren't they technically better rappers than Eminem? Aren't they the better rapper? And I mean, are we talking like rapper in terms of like, you know, straight rapper skill, or are we talking about rapper in terms of like an artist who makes records and like their overall output, their overall career? Like, you know, is Eminem a better artist than Kanye? No, not necessarily. But is Eminem a more proficient rapper than Kanye? Yeah, most likely. So I feel like if we're going to be judging artists like Eminem and Kanye, guys who come out with records, have long discographies, and we're going to sort of do like an artistic dick measuring contest, we have to take more things into account than just whether or not one of them can rap faster than the other. Hector, thank you. Come on, YouTube. I hate that YouTube does that. I hate that. I wish that they'd just keep the thing staying in one spot. I don't have to chase them down. Hey, Anthony, someone in a past chat recommended Beat by Bowery Electric to you, and I just wanted to say it's an amazing shoegaze trip-hop album. Also, Wire Pink Flag classic review. You know, I did a review of Wire's Pink Flag back in the day, and it had like song clips in it, and I had to delete it. And it's one of my favorite rock records. Maybe I'll try to find an old video of it. But I have not heard of that Bowery Electric album. I'm gonna have to try it out. Thank you, Deltron3030. Good album. Good reference. Come on now. I don't want to chase it down. Come on now. There we go. Matt Summy, thank you. Any thoughts on the Forever MC album? I've never seen a list of rap features that crazy. If you've seen it, just look at the track list. I've not heard that, or I'm not conscious of what that is. I'll need to, I guess, just look it up to see what the feature list is. Forever MC by Forever MC. It's different. Forever MC and it's different. Crooked Eye, Tech 9, Corrupt, Royce 59, Static Selecta, Talib, Lupe, Chino XL, King Crooked, Ritz, Chris Webby, E40, Planet Asia, Chuck D, freaking Rascast is on there. Yeah, I mean, The Game is on there. Yeah, I mean, like, Hobson is on there. I mean, you know, a lot of artists I'm not super crazy about. You know, a lot of lyrical miracles, but, you know, it's a pretty impressive list to just be like, bam, We're going to have all these fucking people on the record. It is an impressive list. I'll give it that. All right. Come on. Come on now. Come on now. Come on now. Okay, Jordan, thank you. My friends think Channel Orange is better than Blonde. How do I shut him down subjectively? Ain't a thing. You know, I think Channel Orange is a little bit more accessible than Blonde, and that may be what your friend is kind of into, but I think the singing on Blonde is better, the songwriting on Blonde is better, the lyrics are certainly more personal and introspective, and I feel like it's a more, I guess, musically and aesthetically adventurous album than Channel Orange is, so I don't know. That's my reasoning, at least. Have I heard Prof's new album, Pookie Baby? No, I haven't. It's not out yet, from what I understand. Maybe it is out already, and I didn't know. But I've been listening to some tracks from it, and I am considering covering it in some degree. Also, did I ever check out Dreaded? I think I ended up talking about it in the last one, or I have the link saved in my browser over here. I didn't get a chance to check out any of the recommendations from the last one. But it is still on my to-do list. Thank you very much. The Coil. Hey, Sean C. Oh, hey. What up? Ow, ow, ow! Would I rather make love with 2 obese Vietnamese women or 2 bulky, smooth black men who have much prowess in their pen? Wow. What a question. What an amazing question. I guess since I'm straight, I'll sleep with the women, and I'll leave it at that. Hey, dude, I'm surprised there's no Stevie Wonder classic review on your channel. There isn't there? Yeah, I guess there's not. Even though I own like several of his classics. Would it be nice? Would it be nice to see Inner Visions, Key of Life? Yeah, I agree. It's probably a good idea. Also, thoughts on Tom Misch? Beat Tape 2 is dope, and he has a new album. Have not heard of him. Jivin, but thank you very much for supporting, and Stevie Classic Review is a good idea. Hey, Anthony, working on a Lauryn Hill video. Broad question, but what do I think of her impact on hip-hop? What do I think her impact on hip-hop has been 20 years on from Miseducation? Who do you think carries on her spirit in the industry today? I don't know if anybody really kind of carries on her spirit in the industry today, honestly. Like, I don't know, in that one track that Janelle Monáe dropped in promotion of her new album, the rap track, I was getting some Lauryn Hill vibes off that cut. But, the thing is, like, I don't feel like there are a lot of other women in the industry that sort of provide the kind of sound and versatility that Lauryn Hill did. And honestly, that doesn't, it's not really a female thing. Nerd Writer, thank you very much. Wow, I just realized it's you. I appreciate the question and the support. It's not even a female thing because I don't really think there are a lot of men who are kind of bringing that versatility to the table today in terms of like the singing ability, the references to so many different genres on one single album, being able to blend them in such a creative way. I think some people do come close. Again, Janelle, maybe I'll say Rhapsody, could say Drake or Kendrick, but still, I feel like even they aren't true parallels. I feel like Lauryn is one of those artists that you really only kind of get one in a generation. And I feel like we haven't gotten to the point where we would get another, you know what I mean? But looking forward to that video. Let me know if let me know when it comes out. Hit me up on Twitter. And I hope you're doing well, dude. I haven't heard from you in a while. Ow, ow, ow. Joseph, thank you very much. You should try Israeli salad. It's vegan and kosher, 1 pound cucumber, tomato, onion. I have had Israeli salad before. I haven't tried making it before, but I've had Israeli salad before at an Israeli restaurant in New York. And it is pretty dank. It's pretty dank. I've also had a similar sort of thing at this other Middle Eastern restaurant that I like to go to, and they put quinoa in it and stuff, and like pretty much almost like every ingredient here, but like with quinoa. Let's see, James McDonald. Ow, ow, ow. Hypothetical, the fate of the world depends on you. To save humanity, you must give a convincing argument for Hanson being better than the Beatles. What is your best attempt? Also, listen to Ben Kenny's Incubus /Roots solo work. My best argument for Hanson being better than the Beatles is that for the peak of both of their careers, Hanson were cuter and more good looking than the Beatles. The Beatles, compare them to Hanson, they're ugly. They're downright fugly, honestly. Like in comparison with Hanson, like if I had a choice between kissing lovingly every member of the Beatles in their prime and then kissing lovingly every member of Hanson in their prime, although not Hanson in their prime, like because obviously it would be weird for me to be kissing the young boy in the band, but still, I would much rather kiss Hanson because they're better looking, they're cuter. So yeah, that's it. Hanson, good looking, cute, more commercially viable as a result of cuteness and good lookingness. Beatles, ugly as fuck. So just beat with the fugly stick. Hanson though, they're cute, they're adorable. Thank you, James. Anthony, why you skipped my question? Probably because it ran out, or I missed it, or YouTube shifted it so I missed it. I'm sorry, I apologize. How do I get your music out there without playing live? Kind of hard to play live since I'm alone in making my music. Help me, boy. Listen, you know, as far as like getting your music out there, like open mics and live shows can be good. Certainly if you're a band who wants to kind of, I guess, hone your chops at performing together. But if you're a solo act, like you don't need to play live to get your stuff out there. Like using live shows to get your name out there is about as effective as like putting a flyer on a fucking, you know, telephone pole these days. You know, not that people don't go to venues and don't enjoy live music and don't go to shows. They most certainly do. But people don't go to shows to find out about new music. You know, nobody's going to inconvenience themselves to, you know, nobody who you want to be listening to you anyway. Not like, you know, young, excited music fans who will like follow you to the end of their days. Those types of fans are engaging with new music on the internet. You're already where you need to be on the internet. What you need to be doing is working on your songcraft and working on your singles, working on writing the best song that you can write, and just continually dropping tracks everywhere. Get a distro account. Get a DistroKid account. Put your music on every platform. Get it on YouTube. Get it on SoundCloud. Either get some friends who are in film school or pull some money together or just DIY the shit, make some music videos because everybody is so fucking visual these days. And just keep continually putting stuff out there and always be engaging your audience with new content. And you're going to have that moment where one song clicks with some people. And then if you keep it up and you keep doing it, you're going to have a whole back catalog and people are going to be like, whoa, this person, I love this song. This person has other songs. I'm going to check out these other songs. You just got to keep building your craft. You got to keep building your abilities, building your talents, building your catalog, be consistent, make sure you're on all the relevant social media platforms, make sure your music is everywhere so people just have a higher likelihood of stumbling upon it. And, you know, you're just like, I guess, tagging it all properly and putting it in the right place and categorizing it in such a way where people will find it if they're looking for the type of thing that you're doing. So that's my advice. And thank you very much for your generosity. I appreciate that. Mocha. Alex. Ow, ow, ow. Thank you. Hey, you should check out CSUN album titled Winter. It's a very original album, and I think you'd be interested in it. CSUN Winter. CSUN Winter. I've not heard of that before, but I'll try to give it a shot if I get a chance. Toby, thank you. Have I heard the new Clarence Clarity tracks from the new record online? We Change, Law of Fives, Delray Dreamhouse. Please, can I say Toby Harris is cool? Toby Harris is cool. I don't know if I've heard every single one of those tracks, but I have been hearing some of his latest stuff, and for the most part, you know, like Godslayer and so on and so forth. And I think they're pretty good. Again, I might not have heard those tracks that you mentioned right there, but I have heard what he's been doing lately, and I'm pretty excited. More preferred Massive Attack album, Blue Lines or Mezzanine? Mezzanine. And more preferred Sonic Youth album, Daydream Nation or Goo? I'll probably say Goo. And more preferred Wilco album, Yankee, even though I'm not really a huge Wilco guy, I'll admit. Although Jeff Tweedy is a very nice man. Will I listen to this track I just released? Maybe I will if I get a opportunity to after this, and I have saved the URL. Thank you very much. Hey, Melon, how do I feel about Warren Zevon? I'm pretty neutral on Warren. I haven't really dived deeply enough into his discography to really comment outside of, like, you know, his hit songs. Ow. But yeah, I'm not really expert enough to comment too much about his stuff, but he's got a good voice. He's got a great voice. I'll give him that much. Could you ever do a review of the speed of sound in Seawater? Overlooked because it's math rock, but I think it has things that I might enjoy. I don't even know what that, I haven't even heard of that. Is it a newer record, an older record? There are some math rock obscurities that I'm not fully aware of, but I cannot. Speed of sound in Seawater. I would need to try to remember that later. Robert Zellen. Hey, I know you disliked Suck It and See, oh God, did I? And hated AM, oh God, did I? But what's your opinion on Arctic Monkeys' other 3 albums? Are you excited, hopeful? I mean, I wouldn't say I'm excited for their new LP, but I do think their first 2 records are quite good. But once you get past that, I feel like their performances, their music, the songwriting just gets blander and blander. You know, but that's me, I guess. Thank you very much, Robert. Nate, thank you. Yes, somebody just asked me about that album. Is this all connected? Are you guys the fucking CSUN Illuminati? Okay. Donta, thank you. Do I take videos by artists into account when I review like music videos? No, absolutely not. And I don't even really watch music videos that often, honestly. I feel like when I see visual with the music, it helps me understand the direction. Yeah, I mean, it certainly can. And music videos can be really amazing. I mean, music videos are a fantastic medium, a fantastic art form. And, you know, they're a lot of the reason that people get into a lot of songs, a lot of artists today. However, for me, like, I don't know, I'm just so much more an auditory guy. There's some music videos that I love and I think are amazing, like, what is it, that Battles one with Gary Newman where the guy is just falling down the up escalator forever. I fucking love that music video. But you know, and a lot of Death Grips music videos and so on and so forth. So music videos can be great, but you know, I'm much more into you know, just the sound. You know, if the sound is good, the music's good. Evening Fantano, thoughts on the band Super Furry Animals? I've never really been crazy about them, honestly. I've always felt like their music never quite reflected their name. And that's always kind of been a pet peeve for me for whatever reason, like all throughout like college. I recently discovered then have been enjoying their discography. They got some pretty decent stuff, but I don't know. I guess I've just always been kind of not weirded out, but taken off guard by the name. Them and You Will Know Us by the Trail of Dead. Like, I've always thought that a band with that name should have like the most hardcore fucking music that anyone's like ever imagined. Like, it's got to be more extreme than Nails and yet somehow like more epic than like the best Iron Maiden song. And yet like they just fall so short of that. But that's, you know, again, just kind of like my weird bias with band names, being, you know, left over from college. But thank you, V. Lee T. What up, Melon Slice? Hope you're having a good vegan day. You should listen to Jonathan Wilson, Rare Birds. The guy produced Pure Comedy, and his fantastic production really shows on this album. Jonathan Wilson, Rare Birds. I've not heard of that individual. Jonathan Wilson, Rare Birds. All right, I'll look that up later. I did not know about that Pure Comedy connection. Thank you very much, John. Oh, what the hell? Come on, that's not cool. That's not cool. There we go. Joseph, thank you. I need some good IDM recommendations. Looking for experimental but catchy tracks, conceptual albums. I'll totally a virgin to this genre. I don't even know the well-known acts. Keep up the hustle. Okay, some well-known acts over here. What you're going to want to do is go on like Album of the Year or like Rate Your Music and look up what are some of the most popular albums from Aphex Twin, Autechre, frickin' Underworld, you know. Who else? What the fuck else? I'm just like having a big fucking IDM brain fart here, and for what fucking reason am I doing that? you know, Square Pusher. What the fuck? I'm such a fucking idiot right now. Why am I having an IDM fucking brain fart out of all the times to fucking have an IDM fucking brain fart? And, ugh, I'm so disgusted with myself. So fucking disgusted with myself. I'm like looking over here just like, yeah, Fortet. I'm thinking more like, you know, the 90s stuff. You know, like I'm thinking more of not like, you know, newer shit. Like what's the classic shit? Because he, you know, you got to turn him, you got to kind of teach him where it sort of started. You know what I mean? Let's see. Okay, I wasn't too far off. Oh yeah, the Orb. And some people say Boards of Canada, though I don't necessarily, they're not one of the first ones that come to mind. Although, you know, it's a great idea. If you want to get into IDM, you got to go back into the catalog of Warp Records. Like they have some of the best IDM records on that label and some of the best electronic music period. And there are other labels out there like, I forget how to pronounce it, but like Musique. RNS Records has a lot of great stuff. And also check out Resident Advisor. They're a really great electronic music review site. And Accelerator. It's like XLR and then A and then R. They're a really good electronic music blog, and they post a lot of great songs, a lot of great MP3s. And I think that's, you know, just pretty much, you know, all the recommendations I have as far as that sound. I hope you get some good stuff out of that. Scott, thank you. Ow! Anthony, thank you for your hard work. Thank you for the donation and the support. I appreciate it. Do you think there is a YouTube market for album reactions? Well, I mean, people are already doing them, honestly. Like, they're already out there. I mean, there are already people doing music reactions, Sean C. and Big Quint and Zeus and frickin' Tabby, and there's a lot of people out there doing them. Also, check out the album Hair Toir by The Circle. Progressive black metal death doom. That sounds cool. But how would I execute that idea like that? I mean, if I was going to do it personally, I would probably edit it down to like the best parts of the reaction and just react to the whole record and then edit it to its most essential moments. But outside of that, it's kind of already happening. But, you know, if you're here making metal recommendations, I don't know of a lot of channels that are kind of doing like metal reaction reviews, you know what I mean? So maybe you'll kind of like be unique in that. So Ciro, thank you. Ciro Avocado. I love you, Melon. Are we getting that Kali Uchis review soon? I'm actually going to be working on it after this thing. I like Isolation. Recently, I was listening to it and I made a discovery. There's a video on my Twitter up if you want to check it out. Thank you, dog. Oh man, you're going to make me chase your Twitter down to find out the secret sauce, to find out the secret, to see what the secret is. Okay, I'll check it out. Do I like math rock, or have you not heard Nuance the musical from Christian Fitness? I do like Falco's stuff. I have not checked out the new Christian Fitness yet, though. I do like kind of that old school, aggressive, distorted noise rock, post-hardcore kind of math rock sound, though. I haven't heard of it. Excuse me. Again, I haven't heard his new Christian Fitness record yet. I'm not sure if I'll review it at this moment, though. I haven't made that decision yet. But he did DM me the album, and I am planning on trying to give it a shot this weekend. Why do I seem to avoid the neo-soul disco section of electronic music? Breakbot, Moonchild. Where's my Oliver Tree EP review? Vegan Gains collab. What? Well, hold on a second. Let me handle the first part of the question. The neo-soul disco section of electronic music. I guess I'm just not really aware of it. I don't know. Yeah, I'm just not aware of it. Breakbot, Moonchild, I haven't heard of those two artists. You know, Anthony@theneedledrop.com. That's my email. If you have some artists in that genre of music who are coming out with new stuff specifically this year, and you think it deserves a review, shoot it over to me. You know, and reference this conversation in the subject line, and you know, I'll check it out and I'll see what's up. Thank you very much, C4 Burger. Window Liquor, bitch. Derek Scott, thank you very much. I love the rhythms on that track. They're amazing. Either that or like, one of the sadder like instrumental tracks off of like Drux. Or one of the more groovin' cuts off of Ambient Works 1. What the fuck? Come on, YouTube. I click on it. Did you ask this question 2 times? Or did YouTube glitch? I guess it might have glitched or something, but I don't know. Michael Green, hey Anthony, in memory of Caleb Schofield, R.I.P., favorite Cave In album. Oh, did he pass away? I didn't even know that. I don't follow Cave In stuff that closely, so I didn't even know he passed away among the late. No, wait. Also among the late 90s to the early 2000s. Is that? Wait, am I being in? Well, I mean, you brought it up now, so I imagine it's. Oh yeah, okay. A few days ago, they're talking about this. Yeah, or a few weeks ago. Oh, that's upsetting. I didn't know that. R.I.P. to, and I know he was in other bands recently too. But again, I'm not like a huge Cave In guy, so I didn't even know about that. But that sucks, man. That sucks. Also among the late 90s, early 2000s mathcore albums from bands like Dillinger Escape Plan, Botch, Converge, etc. What's your favorite and why? I think I'm probably more of a Converge guy than anything, just like frickin' I want to say just Jane Doe and the 2 albums that followed are probably some of the best. Dillinger, I think, was getting like more technical until they decided to come out with like their Swan Song album. I feel like if they had managed to kind of stick around, I think that their latest record, or even their Swan Song album, while it was a little inconsistent, it was certainly more innovative and more risky than the new Converge album, where they really kind of rested on their laurels. You know what I mean? But as far as like the 2000s stuff, I think Converge at their prime really just kind of surpasses Dillinger Escape Plan at their prime, even though they were great as well, without a doubt. Let's see. Lil Minnie. Oh, sorry for not being specific enough earlier. The band's name is The Speed of Sound in Seawater, and I recommend the Acoustics album or their full-length First Contact. I'm sorry if I didn't understand exactly what you were getting at. I apologize for that. Acoustics. Okay, let's see. Your mom swallows kids on the daily. Ow! How do I feel about XXXTentacion's earlier SoundCloud Lucy's? I love it when they run. I don't want to miss anymore. Wing Ridden Angel. Are we also talking about, are these songs, I think I've heard I love it when they run. Are we also talking about tracks like, Sippin' Tea in Your Hood and shit like that? Given your enjoyment of Scarlord, I figured you like XXX more than you've expressed. Well, early before 17 came out, I had talked about his music here and there in some of my best and, worst tracks videos, my weekly track roundups. And every once in a while, I'd grab a track from him and I'd be like, this is great, this is good, this is fun, this is hilarious, this is like so hard-hitting and exciting. But then like more information about him started coming out, and then he dropped 17, and it was like, what is this? Like, this is just... And I mean, I guess clearly he's an artist who doesn't want to feel like he's penned into making a certain kind of sound, but like, I don't necessarily see what's better about what he's doing on his records. I just don't understand why he wouldn't continue down this path that he had been on, that it seems like his fans enjoyed it so much more, or at least brought him to where he was today. I don't see why it wasn't like fitting to do like a whole record of that type of shit, but whatever. But yeah, I do like some of that older, sort of more aggressive, off the wall shit that he's done. I mean, it's originally what sort of grabbed my attention in regards to him. I'm sure you've probably covered this in a video at some point, but what's the difference between a not good or a 0 and a 1, between a classic 10 or a 9? For me, a not good typically is something that is so bad that on the surface level, I don't really need to go that deeply into it. Like, it's so obvious why it's shit that I could just like, bleh, like almost just like pretty much freestyle a review and it's just going to make sense. And also for me, not goods are typically albums that, honestly, like if I wasn't just coming on there to do a not good video, I probably wouldn't have covered it anyway. You know, I probably would have just like thrown it into a why you know review or something. But it was just so uniquely bad that I just felt like I had to sort of blast it in sort of like a video, single video like that. So that's kind of my reasoning behind it anyway. Let's see, you know, whereas like maybe a 1 or a 0 is a record from an artist who I've been reviewing, or maybe I had higher expectations or something for them or whatever. But, you know, I'm not saying my reasoning is perfect, but that's mostly what I'm kind of thinking about when I go into it. Okay. Got it. Okay. Mocha, thank you again. Love you, Melon. Thank you for the advice. If you don't mind, I would be honored if you would give one of my songs a listen, watch. Boop. All right, I'll save that, and I'll see what's up. All right, hey, Melon, can I please review Avengers Infinity War when it comes out? I'm not a movie reviewer. You're just going to have to watch the Your Movie Sucks review and just trust that I believe in everything that Adam says. Everything Adam says about movies is right, even when I disagree. But thank you very much. Tamati. Would I consider Young Lean to be creator of so-called cloud rap? If so, does he deserve more credit? No. Little B and Clams Casino came out with cloud rap way before Young Lean. So no, I would not call him the creator of cloud rap. However, I do think he has a particularly very sad and suburban and kind of pillowy and drawling approach to the genre that I think has certainly influenced and inspired a lot of other artists out there that some people are, you know, still copying today. I feel like Lil Peep copied him quite a bit. I feel like Lil Xan copies him quite a bit. I feel like there are a lot of Young Lean copycats out there. And his latest record, while I didn't love it, I think it was his best record so far. So I do think he's getting better too. So shout outs to Young Lean. You know, again, not the creator of Cloud Trap or anything, but still an artist who has had some very measurable influence in the current rap scene, and still a guy with kind of a style and an aesthetic all his own. So I do respect that, even if I haven't enjoyed all of his stuff. Trevor and Alex Review. Wait, Connor, thank you very much. Trevor and Alex Review. Oh, do you guys have a review show? Aww. I heard Strange by CSUN, and they're getting some popularity. Okay, that's the third CSUN recommendation I've gotten. Again, is the CSUN Illuminati at work here? Is that what's going on? Is that what's happening? You know, I've saved it. I've written it. I'll try to give it a shot. What kind of mic is that? This is... oh, I need to take my glasses off because I don't want to say it wrong. Oh, no, right here. It's an RE20. This is one of Tom York's favorite microphones, from what I understand. It's a great mic. Kyle over at Secular Talk uses one as well. I think he's got kind of a souped-up one, though. And it's a very good broadcast microphone. You can record music with it as well. It's a great mic. It's a great mic. I hope you guys think it sounds good. It maybe does not sound the best right now because my new iMac does not have a fucking microphone in, an audio jack in. Why the fuck would Apple build a desktop with no audio jack in? Are you stupid? Are you idiots? Are you dumbasses? So anyway, I had to buy like this little audio USB device that I plug the microphone in, and of course there's like a little bit of a low kind of hum and buzz that comes through in the microphone if I turn it up too loud. So the mic does probably not sound the best that it could, but I hope the mic does sound good. I hope you guys like the sound of the mic. It's a good ass mic. It's a good mic. So yes, it's an RE20, an RE20. An RE20. Electro Voice. Electro Voice is the brand. Let's see. You've mentioned My Chemical Romance, The Black Parade a lot. Do I have any extended thoughts? Maybe a classic review. A classic review would be fun. You know, I don't have any extended thoughts right now from the last time I talked about it on a stream, but honestly, I think a classic review of that record, even though in my opinion it's not old enough to be a classic, doing a classic review of that record would be hilarious because it would throw a lot of people off. Like, it would make a lot of people go crazy, and I think I just might. And thank you very much for supporting. Arrow. Are we going to see a Saba review? I'm thinking about it. I guess I'm getting so many requests for it. I should. I will sort of spoil it right now and say I think it's okay. I think a lot of his ideas just kind of feel like runoff from Isaiah Rashad and Mick Jenkins. I feel like the instrumentals are kind of bland. His voice doesn't really stick out to me in any significant way. Obviously, there's a lot of forethought in the lyrics. I do appreciate that about his stuff. But I don't know. I'm just not really stopped in my tracks by this record. I wasn't really stopped in my tracks by his last record. I just don't see what all the hubbub's about. He sounds like other Chicago rappers that are hot right now, but I think he's really starting to come into his own. Plus, he got a Luke James cosign. Oh, I mean, well, you know, Luke's got good taste. So, you know, maybe there is something more to it than I'm thinking there is. So, shout out to Luke James, not the singer. Not the singer. Who at this point is Luke James, the music reviewer, still less popular than Luke James, the singer? He should be at the point where he could just be like, hey, I'm Luke James. He should be. If not, you know, we really should get him to that point. You guys, if you don't know Luke James, I'm just going down here checking out the amount of people watching right now, so I can sort of see and make sure that that you guys go and subscribe to Luke James. Look up Luke James on YouTube. Subscribe to his channel. If I don't go on to I'm going to go on to Social Blade tomorrow. If I don't see 2,300 people have subscribed to Luke James tonight, okay, like I'm going to go look at his subscriber numbers. If I don't see exactly 2,300 people subscribing to him, okay, between now and when I check his shit in the morning, I'm going to personally hunt every one of you down and kill you, okay? The last thing you're going to see is this. So it's going to be the last shit you see. I'm going to have the sunglasses on too. So get ready, okay? If you don't subscribe, if you do subscribe, then it's not a problem. Check out Ecology by Mathematic, classic Toronto hip-hop album, 1999. Highly recommended watch. All right, I'll give it a try later. Thank you very much, Zarkhan. Got that one. David Graham. Ow! Thank you, David. Sorry, I had to save something. Anthony, am I planning on doing an Endless Redo review once you receive the Endless merch? I do have it. I have it. It's going to be in the next vinyl review tonight, or vinyl update. And I may give it a redo review because it does have improved sound from what I understand. And my initial review of it was really just kind of like it was like a cursory thing. You know, I was just kind of like mentioning it in passing as I was kind of getting to the Blonde review. So I think it may be worth a redo review. So I'm considering it. I'm interested to hear my opinion as well, believe it or not. Okay. X Adam Triple TTX, thank you. In one of your Arcade Fire reviews, you said that Funeral has a near-perfect album flow. What do you mean by this? What makes an album flow well? What would I consider doing a Godspeed Worst to Best? A Godspeed Worst to Best would be pretty fun. I probably should do that, number one. And that would be a pretty tight discography as well, so it's a good idea. I have a master list of artists I would like. I haven't even started working on the next Worst to Best, and I probably should, but that'd be a good one. But to me, what makes the Arcade Fire record a near perfect flow is that all the songs just kind of like are greater than the sum of their parts. They kind of play into one another almost in a seamless fashion. They all complement each other really well. The album kind of moves like a movie in a way. You know, it all just feels like really well connected. To me, that makes a good flow. Also, you know, that no one part of the album drags on too long or feels like redundant to another part of the album. It seems like every piece of the record takes into account what other pieces of the record are bringing to the table, as far as adding to the experience of the album. You know, to me, a flow is when an artist is kind of paying attention to the way all of the songs move and work together in kind of a holistic sense. To Pimp a Butterfly has a great flow. Good Kid, Mad City has a great flow. Part of the reason that is that there's obviously a story and different sounds and different narratives to different parts of that story. And when you're listening to the album, it feels like a movie. I feel like Neutral Milk Hotel's In the Aeroplane Over the Sea has a great flow as well, with the way that a lot of the songs kind of play into one another on that record. So those are some things that contribute to a great flow on an album. Isaac, thank you. From one melon to another, favorite track album to make sweet love to. Back in the day, used to love to make some love either to some dirty wild funk music, some synth funk to Prince, or Beach House's Devotion or Teen Dream if I was feeling more emotional, more moody. Let's see. One album I haven't done it to yet, but I would really love to have sex to this record. And this, I have no idea why I'm telling you guys this, but I would love to do it to the new Piss Jeans album. It just seems like a good record to do it to. I have no idea why. It's just so groovy and guttural and nasty. Would just love to do it to the new Piss Jeans. And I think the record's better than a lot of people give it credit for. Michael, thank you. I know you're not into Between the Buried and Me's more recent overproduced albums, but how do I feel about their earlier stuff? Silent Circus, Alaska. Colors is a great record. Alaska is pretty good. I definitely respect Colors. Colors is a very good prog metal album. It's not my favorite prog metal album, but I do think it's a very good one. And as far as prog metal bands go, they're easily one of the most creative and one of the most influential as well. I feel like a lot of these newer, more overproduced prog metal bands just wouldn't even have a fucking oar to paddle with if it weren't for the fact that Between the Buried and Me existed. Have I heard of Whitney? They made a lot of buzz last year with the debut Light Upon the Lake. I'm surprised there wasn't a review of it. I've heard the name, but I think I might have tried their stuff and I just thought it was kind of bland and I just can't even really remember it at this point. Thank you for supporting, though. The name is familiar, and I feel like I vaguely remember that buzz as well, but I just cannot recall the music at all for the life of me. I don't know. Bill Wangler. Hey, what are your thoughts on The Electric Lucifer by Bruce Hack? And is it eligible for a classic review? I swear if you didn't know who he is, I'm going to slap you at Whole Foods. Well, you might need to slap me at fucking Whole Foods, bro, because I feel like Bruce Hack, reading that right there is the first time I've ever fucking read that name. I don't even think I've read that name before. I'm trying to look it up here. Yeah, I don't even know. Electronic, psychedelic rock, psychedelic pop. It sounds really cool. The Electric Lucifer. Canadian guy. Frickin' 1970. I mean, some of the reviews for this aren't even that rave, so I don't know. I think you can give me a little bit of leeway here. Don't slap me at Whole Foods. Maybe give me a little bit of a punch on the arm or something like that. Or, when you see me at Whole Foods, just give me one of these, it's got to be down here, but, give me one of these, one of these. We used to do that. It's funny that this has come back in a way that millennials are obsessed with this now. We did this all the time in high school. Is it did this never die out and I just thought it did because I wasn't in high school anymore? Or did this go away for a period? Because me and my friends, we used to just of course it has to be under your waist and you just trick people into looking at it. And then once they look at it, you fucking punch them. I had this friend of mine who I pulled it off on one time. I was really good at tricking him. And we were passing back tests. We were, the teacher was handing out tests and we were getting tests passed back to us. And I had his test in my hand and I was passing it back to him because he sat behind me. And I passed him the test and I gave it to him like one of these. I had the test held in my hand and I fucking did this shit. And I had the test between two fingers and I had my finger like this. And I had it up like this. I was handing it to him like this. And then he said, it's gotta be under your waist. It's gotta be under your waist for it to count. So then I took it and I just slid it down and his fucking head went down and he fucking looked at it. And then I punched his ass. I'm such a man. I'm such a bro. I feel people. I feel terrible. Shout out to Jordan. That's who that was. I'm sorry for punching you. I apologize. I was young. I was stupid. I didn't know what I was doing. Why do I keep avoiding Earth Gang? I talked about the latest Earth Gang thing in I think the last Why You Know review. I'm not avoiding them. I just kind of think they're okay. You know, like they're not fucking Outcast guys, okay? Like they can rap, but you know, they're not Goody Mob, all right? You know, let's be honest with ourselves here, okay? It's not Andre 3K and Big Boy. I've always wondered if I listened to Pretty Lights, A Color Map of the Sun. He is considered the GOAT in his genre. Talib Kweli feature, hip-hop influence, experimental as fuck. I haven't even heard of this. Wait, listen to Pretty Lights, A Color Map of the Sun. I feel like I've heard of somebody who has a name similar to this, but yeah, I guess I don't know who this is. I thought Pretty Lights was another artist. I thought it was like some girl who made electropop or something, or maybe I'm thinking of somebody else. But whatever, I guess I'm wrong. I'll try to give it a shot if I get a chance. Thank you very much, Urban Shaman. Thank you for the reco. $20 just for your thought on Rid of Me by PJ Harvey. Definitely one of her grimier and I guess more emotionally tortured LPs in a way. I kind of like the darkness and the edginess of it. She certainly was like heading in that direction with her previous stuff, and she kind of like hit a bit of a peak with that record. I like it quite a bit. It's a good album, and it's probably worth a classic review, honestly. So, Sister Grimace, thank you. Hey Mellows, 2 a.m. Wondering if you ever listened to the new Shame album, Songs of Praise. Really good blend of classic UK punk and new wave. Also thoughts on the band Nothing But Thieves. Nothing But Thieves, I don't care too much about them, but yeah, I'm not familiar with that Shame record. Oh, shit. Gosh dang it. Consarn it. Oh, well, okay, Shame. I'll just look up their page or something. Yeah, there it is. Okay, yes. Okay. I heard this band and I just feel like it's kind of bland, you know, it's just like so post-punk. It's very average post-punk. There wasn't really anything about that kind of stood out to me. I thought you were just talking about like an older band or something. It's so funny. Every single time like somebody brings that band up, I have to re-recognize them from the album cover because every single time I'm like done checking out their music again, I just literally just erase it from my brain. And then I go on to another thing. And then when somebody says, hey, have you checked out the band Shame? I'm like, no, I haven't checked out that band before. And then I see the album again for like the 10th time. And I'm like, oh, yes, okay, I've heard this. I've heard it. I forget that band's name every time. Shame isn't a very memorable band name. Truly and honestly. It's not a very memorable band name. You know, Shame. Have you heard of Shame? No. Who? Shame? No, it's not a very memorable band name. I guess people looking or talking about or asking for band name advice, memorability. It's important. You don't want people to just forget who the hell you are because your band name is just like, I don't know, Paper. Hey, have you heard the band Paper? I don't remember. Because they named themselves Paper. And there probably is a band there probably is a band out there named Paper. And I don't know. That's my rant. That's my band name rant. Don't have a Twitter, so let me argue here. You Made Me Realize EP is My Bloody Valentine's best work. Slow and Thorn are masterpieces. You know, their early EP stuff is actually really good. I mean, not even, I believe some of the material, the closer specifically on Loveless is like, you know, was released before the album was even out. So it's like, you know, so like a lot of that EP stuff set the tone for what they did on Loveless. So, you know, like a lot of their best stuff is on like that EP stuff. I have a compilation of all their EP stuff. It's great. It's top notch. It's fantastic. Thoughts on old school jungle drum and bass? Remark, DJ Hype, Goldie, DJ Rap have made some great records, so ahead of their time, so on and so forth. Goldie's great. Goldie made some great shit back in the day. And also, you know, if we're talking jungle drum and bass, don't forget Square Pusher. He was amazing. But yeah, a lot of that old stuff is great. Like the break beats are so fucking intense and amazing. And I remember when I was a kid when, you know, jungle, drum and bass, break beat, big beat stuff like was really popular. It was just like at its peak of relevance. So there was a lot of good stuff going on back then. It's not quite as cutting edge as it used to be, but still, you know, it's a great genre of music. $5 from Quinn, thank you very much. And Yanni, thank you if I forgot to thank you. John, thank you very much. And yes, I did thank Sister. Come on now. Come on now, YouTube. Okay, Lucian Burns, thank you. Will I ever listen to Matt Martian's The Drum Chord Theory? I don't know. He's one of the members of the Internet. Record came out about a year ago. I don't know if I'll ever listen to it, but is that the album where he's sort of like on the front and he's surrounded by all the instrumentation? I did always think that cover was really cool. Maybe I did try some of it, and I can't recall. Thoughts on Armin van Buuren and Johnny Gilbert? I don't know them. I'm not familiar with them. I'm probably embarrassing myself right now, but I don't think, I'm familiar with them. And even if I am, I certainly don't know enough to comment. But still, my name is not Spirits. Thank you very much. I'm going to have to look them up later and see what's up with that and educate myself. Get myself an education, an internet education. Favorite Gorillaz track? Good question. Favorite Gorillaz track? It might be Some Kind of Nature, honestly. I just really fucking love that song. And I feel like the more I listen to it, the more I like Plastic Beach a little bit more than Demon Days. I feel like it's just kind of a kookier record, And I feel like it had a great balance between features, but also like it had that Gorillaz personality, you know what I mean? I feel like on the latest record, it didn't even feel like a Gorillaz album, It just felt like Damon Albarn making gooey, fun, silly beats for a bunch of people who he thinks are cool. To me, Plastic Beach did a great job of just, not overdoing it on the features and balancing the features with the Gorillaz sound, the Gorillaz style. So, yeah, it might be Some Kind of Nature. Shame on you, Ant. Bruce Hack was a pioneer of electronic music. He may have been. I'm not denying that, but I, that doesn't mean I know everything. He built his own electronics. That's cool. A lot of, electronic pioneers did. They had to. They had no other choice. There wasn't that much instrumentation allowed to them because there wasn't that much access to it, or it was super expensive, or it wasn't even that functional sometimes because that shit back in the day would overheat and then it would either go out of tune or just be totally ineffective. So early electronic pioneers building their own shit, it's not unheard of, including the first musical vocoder. That's awesome. He was on Mr. Rogers back in the day. Whoa. Well, of course, Daft Punk knew him. Daft Punk knew tons of shit. I just found out about Japanese city pop a while ago, which obviously was this huge influence on Discovery. And I just thought Discovery, I just thought they were on some disco shit. But I'll need to look up that Mr. Rogers appearance. That'll be amazing. I hope that's on YouTube. But thank you, Ben, again. Chloe, thoughts on the influence of Leonard Cohen's early music, especially from tracks like Dress Rehearsal Rag and Diamonds in the Mine, which sonically ahead of its time, in my opinion, especially on post-punk. I agree with everything that you're asserting here, but I guess it's just kind of a struggle for me to say like Leonard Cohen was obviously great songwriter, unique voice, unique lyrical talent, but what is the influence he's having on music today? You know what I mean? Where is his influence now? I feel like, unfortunately, he's an artist that I don't think has, through no fault of his own, I think hasn't really transitioned over in terms of popularity and I don't know, just acceptance artistically among the millennial generation. I don't know exactly why that is. I mean, he put out lots of great stuff over the course of his life, and I myself, I feel like a fucking dirtbag not reviewing his last record formally, although maybe I should probably remind myself to do a redo review of that. I'm a fucking idiot. Anyway, sorry about that. I had to write myself another reminder. But I think his vocal approach, his very kind of narrative, lyrical style, some of his darker tracks and his really kind of dramatic performances were certainly, an influence on music years after he came out with those records and, years after he was past his prime. But I guess, you know, I just kind of fail to see a lot of those ripples kind of continuing into the millennial generation. But, you know, I don't really think anything is totally dead or gone forever. I think it's really only a matter of time before, you know, a lot of those old school elements of songwriting, we sort of see them come back and kind of make it at least, you know, a little bit of a comeback in some kind of way, shape, or form. You know, probably in tandem with a million other things going on in the music scene, but I don't think it'll be gone forever. Kotzer, thank you very much. Hey babe, To Pimp a Butterfly is my favorite album of all time. It speaks directly to my spirit and makes me feel so many conflicting emotions. More so than any other album. What is that album for you? I don't know if it's my favorite record, but certainly an album that I feel like speaks directly into my spirit and makes me feel so many conflicting emotions is probably like, you know, lift your skinny fists like antennas to heaven. That one gives me a lot of conflicting feels. Yeah, that one gives me a lot of good conflicting feels. Or like Tom Waits' Rain Dogs. How do I feel about Janelle Monáe's new song, Pink? I'm going to be talking about it in the next weekly track roundup, but I think it's really good. It's very clear that Grimes had a huge influence on the song, but overall I think it's a good track. I think it's a good single. And it has me even more excited for the new album. So it's kind of a very just fun, summery track, you know? But clearly she's like, you know, making some statements on femininity and sexuality and womanhood in the song that I think are pretty cool. Excuse me. Hey, Anthony, what are your thoughts on XTC, one of my favorite bands, possibly my favorite? XTC was a good band, and in my opinion, they're like one of the groups who were in the new wave scene, in the post-punk scene, and were just like underrated. You know what I mean? When it comes to post-punk, the first thing that people think about is like, oh, sad, slow, echoey, like Joy Division worship. And it's like there was so much more to that genre and to that musical movement than that. And, you know, people often overlook like the freakier, funkier side of the genre like XTC, which is really like where a lot of the excitement is for me. You know, that's where some of the most fun and interesting stuff was. Unknown Pleasures is amazing, you know, but really it's just kind of like Unknown Pleasures and that's it. Like, you know, Closer to me is overrated. I don't really care for it that much. And, you know, really at the end of the day, I'm a little bit more of a New Order guy. So, you know, there you go. Those are my controversial thoughts on that everyone will hate. How terrible am I for watching Highly Suspect over Beyonce at Coachella? I also should I leave Migos early for Eminem or just watch full Migos show for a surprise? There will be no surprise during a Migos set. If you feel bored during the Migos set, just leave. There's, you know, I've seen videos of those guys live. They just have so little in the way of chemistry or charisma on stage. I just don't get it. They sound so much better on tracks, but on track, I feel like they're just kind of painted themselves into a corner artistically. So it's like, you know, it's almost like they're making themselves less interesting by the day. Yeah, maybe you should feel a little bad for watching Highly Suspect over Beyonce, but I don't know. I guess that depends on whether or not you're a Beyonce fan. I mean, if you don't really care about Beyonce, then don't force yourself to watch Beyonce. I mean, watch who you want to watch. Can you check out Clowncore's album Toilet? Come on, man. The new Saba record Care For Me is pretty good. I like modern rock, but I respect your opinion. Ex Pinegrove, keep influencing high schoolers' opinions. Hell yeah, man. That's what I do. I wake up in the morning and I'm like, what am I going to make high schoolers think today? Yeah. That's my thought process. Would I ever consider doing a classics review of one of Fiona's older albums? If I were to, it would probably be Tidal. And it's worth considering. It's worth considering. Fripp and Eno Evening Star Classic Review sometime in the near future? I don't know about that one. I feel like contextually No Pussyfooting is like maybe a little bit more essential, but I guess that's just me. I notice you don't seem to like Animals as leaders. Has any of their stuff grown on you? Not particularly. As far as prog metal goes, I feel like their stuff is just maybe a little bit overdone, though I respect the musicianship. Like the guitar work is pretty impeccable, but it doesn't do much for me. And do I still find the Joy of Motion too self-indulgent? Also Tool Worst to Best Classic Review. After the new Tool record comes out, I might do a Worst to Best. to sort of take it into account. Or I might try to do one. Yeah, I might wait until the new Tool album comes out and then do that. But a Tool classic review, I think, might be a good idea. You guys are giving me good classic review ideas. Fiona, PJ, Tool. Some good classic review ideas tonight. And I haven't picked the classics for this year yet, so there is that. Typically I kind of pick that stuff way ahead of time, but I haven't picked that. So I guess I'm at the point where I'm taking suggestions. College Dropout classic review. I don't know if I would do a classic review of it, since I sort of talked about it quite a bit in the the Kanye worst to best. But yeah, I guess that's my thinking on that. Also, Devil in a New Dress has one of the best instrumentals of modern rap. I don't know about that. Thoughts on a musician using a different accent than their own? Oh, and by the way, Grayson, thank you. Example in Irish rap, yeah, I mean, it happens all the time. Like, the Beatles used to sing in English accents. There are tons of Robert Pollard tracks where he sings in an English accent. Iggy Azalea raps in what some people would call like a black scent. Like, it happens all the time. Drake singing about tings and, gyals, wagwan. Most of the time I think it's kind of silly, honestly. Like, it's not necessary. Not for me personally, to get into a track. I mean, at the end of the day, again, I think it kind of sounds silly. But the thing is, at the end of the day, like, what a lot of artists are doing when they do that, they're looking for acceptance. They want a certain group of people to think about them in a certain way, or think they're a certain kind of person because their voice sounds a certain way, or it's more accessible to a wider audience because, like, let's say for grime or just UK hip hop in general, there are a lot of Americans that won't listen to that shit just because of the accent. You know what I mean? So while I do think it sounds silly, I understand the reasoning behind a lot of artists for doing it, because at the end of the day, like, when it comes to accents, when it comes to the way you say your words, like, people are really fucking picky. And, I feel like the reason artists are kind of pushing themselves in that direction is because they're facing unrealistic demands from the audience. Like, just fucking, they have an accent. Just fucking listen to their music. Like, stop being a pussy. It's just a fucking accent. Are you a baby? Like, when people bitch about an accent in a song, it's like listening to somebody bitch about, like, I don't know, eating spinach, or like, oh, I don't eat fruit, or I don't eat vegetables, or, I don't like rice, or, I eat lots of things, but I don't like onions. I just don't like them. Like, shut the fuck up. Stop being a baby. It's just an accent, okay? Like, they're still probably communicating cool ideas or maybe making good music, all right? Like, sure, some people can have qualities to their voice that maybe make listening to them unbearable, but, like, an accent? Come on, man. Grow up. Hey, Melon. Just thought you should check out a cover of Politics of Love by Alex Cameron. It's covered by Lars Halvard Isdal. You should definitely check it out. Is it a good cover? Hot cover? Man, that's pretty cool if he's... Alex Cameron, he's got to get bigger, man. Like, he deserves more fame than he's getting, man. Driver Man. $10. Thank you very much. He says, I will never watch your videos again. You're a disgrace to music and you deserve the worst that life has to offer. Leprosy, polio, you name it. Fuck you and everything you do. I don't get this. Driver Man donates every single live stream. I don't even know what Driver Man is mad about. Whatever you're mad about, I apologize. And Leprosy. Leprosy is a dope-ass death album, and there's probably a good metal album named Polio as well. But yeah, I don't know where this is even coming from. But I apologize, and I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I don't know what you're mad about. But whatever it is, I'm sorry. I apologize. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. And thank you. Can I recommend more unknown or obscure post-punk new wave acts that you're particularly fond of? Joy Division, Echo, and Bunny Man have overstayed their welcome. Thank you. You should definitely check out Ice Age. They're a more recent one. You should definitely check out fucking... I'm I'm having a fucking brain fart here. And I'm just thinking of new ones. You probably know Savages. What the frig was that band? And they just dropped a record last year, and it has a woman in like a head garb on the front cover. And it was kind of pinkish, and I really loved it. But, you know, also like older stuff, the Cardiacs, XTC, fucking Bauhaus, frickin' who else? The Fall. You know, check those bands out. Check out those groups. Ought. Someone says Ought. Oh, someone said Proto-Martyr. That's it. Proto-Martyr. And, you know, as far as more recent bands go, Idols. Idols is very good too. You know, that'll be that. Okay, moving on from there. I don't want you to review my favorite band or else they'll get memed to death by cancer fans. Thoughts on that subject, not your fault, but HiveMind/4chan's fault, IMO. Thank you very much, EJ's Rocket. Look, man, when people are huge fans of a thing, like, they just go crazy for it. Like, what are you going to do? Like, you can't help it. You can't stop it. It's as essential as the sun fucking coming up. But at the end of the day, like, even though fans like might sort of annoy you, like, I don't know. I feel like at the end of the day, you should want the artist that you care about to succeed and do well. Because, like, if they don't got fans, they don't got people streaming their shit, they don't got people buying their shit, like, they're not going to continue doing it. Like, every group that gets a big fan base, they get annoying at some point because, you know, you get the evangelists in the fan base, you get the blind lovers in the fan base, you get the obsessives in the fan base, you get the people who just like it because it's trendy or whatever. But still, you know, like, people got to eat. But EJ, thank you. Magic Laugh, thank you. As a melon of the fretless bass, ever heard of Mick Karn? He's 80s art pop, UK group, Japan. No, I haven't. Though I do love some fretless bass. You know, I love Jaco Pastorius. Love the fretless bass on Lou Reed's Blue. That's a pretty good record. You know, that Blue record that he's got out. That's a quite good one. I love the fretless bass on that record. Yeah, fretless bass can be pretty dope. And oh, you know, who else? There's this like Canadian sort of a technical metal band that has quite a bit of fretless bass in their music that's really good, and I can't remember them off the top of my head. People are probably throwing it in the chat box right now. So, okay, let's move on to the next one. Thank you, Magic. Captain Falcon, yo, what up? When are we getting a Wayweb Surf interview? I don't even know. Wayweb Surf. I don't even know who that is. I can't even interview with that person. I don't even know who that person is. I'm just going to have to see what that is, see what's up with that. And if I'm interested in doing an interview after that, then I guess we'll see. What up, Mano? Have I heard Amanda Bergman in her band A Mason? I have not. If you give a listen, the song Falcons is Heaven. Do I have any tips for music to listen to while on acid? I don't know, maybe Spacemen 3 or something like that. Maybe some Boards of Canada. Or maybe the new Gorilla Toss album, GT Ultra, as the cover of that is just nothing but like a page of blotter acid. So, a personal anecdote. Have I heard of Wunderbar? Their new album, Smell Smoke, came out in February. I have not. I will just have to sort of save that recommendation and see what's up. Evo, what up, dude? Evo produces Cal Beats. Which artists, if any, from the 20/21st century do I think will be remembered far into the future? Personally, I think Flying Lotus, Kanye West, Kyle Chuchesta, and Corey Feldman will be remembered. I think Flying Lotus, I think Kanye West, I think Kendrick Lamar, I think Drake. You know, if though he will probably be remembered more for his context than his music. You know, I think Animal Collective, I think Death Grips, I think Janelle Monáe. I think people are going to remember Cardi B, honestly. Like, not that I think she's going to probably bust out a classic next year, but I feel like she's just broken too many records for people not to sort of notice her in the record books. Who else do I think? Hopefully Danny Brown, man. Hopefully Danny Brown. And I hope people remember Swans, like what they did, you know, with music with their past 3 records, and hopefully beyond. Yeah, I mean, hopefully people remember all that shit. Estephanopoulos Jasser, thank you. Last stream compilation releases were brought up. A View from Mount Seldom, it was mentioned. Thoughts on it? I have not listened to it yet, but I have put it on my calendar, so my thoughts are that I will be planning on listening to it and potentially giving it a coverage of some sort. You should also check out another label, Bloom Punch Volume 1. It started in the Deep Cuts Discord. Deep Cuts Discord. I'm trying to work on getting the Needle Drop Discord, like an official one, like a verified one, together. Bloom Punch Volume 1. I'm going to see what's up with that. Nas Stillmatic was a masterpiece. The album had songs about him killing peeps and then started preaching about world peace. Truly a real American hypocrite. Sorry, hero. Also, he rhymes poison with poison. Oh, it sounds like it was more like a disaster piece. Oh, damn. Fantano got the bars. I got the bars. Ow. Thank you very much, Electric Shed. Just fucking with you, Antonio. Love you. Oh, fuck you, driver man. Fuck you. Fuck you. I hope you get polio. I hope you get staph infection from a toilet seat. Okay? I do love you back, though. Thank you. Hey, Melon, have you heard of the metal band Neobliviscaris? I have. Also, you sleeping on the new Panopticon. Panopticon is on my calendar. I have heard of Obliviscaris. Again, another kind of prog metal band that I think is a little too overproduced for my ears, but the Panopticon, it is on my calendar. I do have it on my calendar for this coming week. I have decked out some time for it because it is a long record, so it's kind of taken me a while to kind of like find a moment in time where I can fit it. You know what I mean? Because it's a long one. It's a double record. So give me some time. Give me a chance. I got to digest it. Do I like fresh beetroots? I mean, I like beets. I haven't tried the roots. I'm imagining this is not a band name. But I do like some beets. Beets are crunchy and sweet and bloody and nice in a salad and good in a smoothie too. What's your favorite rockabilly, punkabilly, psychobilly albums? Pretty much my two favorite rockabilly, psychobilly, punkabilly bands are the Meteors and the Cramps. I haven't really gotten that deep into the genre beyond that. And do I think the genre will ever make a significant comeback? Not really, you know. I feel like... well, I'm not going to totally just write it off. You know, here's the thing. I feel like a lot of the things that inspired that record are still around. The nostalgia for the 50s and kind of like vocal pop and pop rock from that time that inspired those genres. I think the obsession and kind of the nostalgia and the appreciation that people have for those genres will always come back in some form every once in a while. But I don't think it's ever going to take the form of psychobilly ever again. You know, and also I feel like, you know, genres like psychobilly just would never have existed had it not been for guys like Lux Interior. And guys like that, you only get them once every 100 years. You know what I mean? So you're never going to get another one, you know, and that's unfortunately just is what it is. R.I.P. to Lux Interior. He was one of the greats. Hobo Johnson is just hipster rap, La Dispute ripoff. He ain't fooling me. I thought he was the hipster rap ripoff of what the fuck is that band? Listener. I thought he was the hipster rap ripoff of Listener. You know, honestly, I think Hobo Johnson has potential. I'm not ready to throw in the Hobo Johnson towel just yet, and I don't think he's as bad as some people make him out to be. I do understand why his music would be grating and not appealing to everybody, but I feel like he's one of those people who you could and should maybe give some time to. You know, he could progress into something more interesting. Merc out, thank you very much. Mangsta, what are your thoughts on Vapor Trap producers Icy Twat and Lord Fubu? I haven't heard either of those artists, but their names are fucking amazing. Like, those are memorable names. Icy Twat and also Lord Fubu, just like throwing it back to the fucking Fubu from when I was a kid. Amazing. Those are memorable fucking names. Have I heard of Icy Twat? I mean, I haven't heard Icy Twat, but I heard his name 5 weeks ago and I've never forgotten it. That's for fucking sure. You know, meanwhile, I'm going to forget the band Shame in the next 2 hours. Total Xanarchy. No, okay. Just get the fuck out of here. JK, but seriously, you should really listen to I'm Sorry by Probably Raymond. Also, Josh A is an underrated rapper. Thank you very much for the Josh A shout out. Xanarchy. You little troll, you. Excuse me. Isaiah, thank you. And Cash Baker. Do I think any artist from the past few years can come close to Boards of Canada in terms of what they offer to ambient and electronic music. Honestly, if you want interesting ambient music, if you want ambient music that's cutting edge and sort of pushing the boundaries, like, and I'm not even covering a lot of it, like, you got to look in the vaporwave scene, because that's what these kids are doing. Like, they might be calling it vaporwave and shit, and there's all types of vaporwave for sure, but like a lot of this vaporwave shit is ambient music. It's literally ambient music, and I feel like a lot of these vaporwave kids on Dream Catalog and fucking Bedlam tapes and Business Casual and Orange Milk Records. There's a lot of different ones. I feel like a lot of these kids making this abstract electronic music and somewhat ambient music on these labels, they're kind of the next generation. You know, they're doing the stuff. They're doing the shit. They're doing stuff that I think, honestly, like, there's a lot of it. There's a lot of it to take in. I feel like we're not going to appreciate a lot of it until like a few years down the road. You know what I mean? So, you know, after kind of the dust is settled and somebody goes back and is like, holy fuck, like, look at this crazy rich, like, scene of internet music that was totally overlooked for almost its totality, you know, the totality of its existence. So yeah, absolutely. I think there are probably examples in that scene for sure. Okay. If an English rapper dropped a Good Kid, Mad City in an American accent, would it not bother you that it's in his accent, and why? I guess it would just feel inauthentic to me, you know? I guess at the end of the day, the music has to sound good. If the music sounds good, I could probably look past the fact that it's an accent, but still it would, I guess in a sense, it would feel inauthentic. It would feel kind of silly, you know? All right, let's, Power Stroke Interactive. Thank you very much. That's a wonderful name. Hey, Melon, I saw Lightning Bolt a few weeks ago. Lucky you saw Lightning Bolt. They were fucking amazing. Who else is that good live? Oh, man. Better than Lightning Bolt live? Like, as far as, like, crazy intense and explosive and, like, you know, maybe, like, Death Grips or, you know, but, like, Lightning Bolt is such a fucking, you know, powerhouse. There's you know, to see, you'd probably have to go see, like, a grindcore out, you know, band play, or like a death metal band play to see something that's like as intense, but, you know, won't quite have the noise factor of like a Lightning Bolt show. It's a tough call because they're fucking an anomaly live. They truly are. Am I familiar with current lo-fi house movement artists like DJ Seinfeld, Ross from Friends, DJ Boring, Mallgrab? These are all great names. People need to fucking look at these weirdo vaporwavers and electronic music producers for good names. I swear to fucking God. No, I haven't, but you've just incentivized me to. DJ Boring. That's a wonderful name. Thoughts on Australian rap, if I've heard any. I'd suggest Hilltop Hoods. I have heard Hilltop Hoods. Bliss and Esso no. 360 no. And Cursor for the meme. Also, how's the Review Bra beef? Review Bra has to respond. I don't know what's up, Review Bra. The ball is in his court. The Saba album I am taking into account. The ball is in Review Bra's court. You know, the beef is currently stalled. So if you want the beef to continue, you gotta Review Bra. When are you gonna respond to Fantano? He put your feet to the flames, dude. He ate that pizza in the car. What are you gonna do, man? You gonna review an album in front of a green screen? Are you going to eat an album? Are you going to review and taste an album? Are you going to eat it and then review the taste? What are you going to do, man? How are you going to get back at Fantano? So, I mean, look, I can't go with the guy forever. I gotta have something to respond to. Have I heard of Maggie Rogers' recent EP? Now the Light is Fading. Super solid. Curious your thoughts on the Clive Institute she came out of. I've not heard of that EP, but I'll save that recommendation, dude. And thank you. Power Stroke, thank you. Why do I not review more metal and psychedelic rock? What do I think of the Flightless bands besides King Gizzard? I haven't gotten too much in the Flightless discography. How many other bands are there other than King Gizzard? I guess I need to look that up. But I do need to review more metal bands, and I do need to review more jazz this year. So, you know, I think I'm doing okay so far for 2018, but maybe not. I just reviewed that sweet ass death metal compilation that was really good. Ruin, really good comp. Check out that review if you haven't. Oh, come on. Thoughts on the new Fonte album? The Den and Hip Hop guys loved it, and I'm interested to hear your thoughts. Also, thanks for shitting on the albums all my friends like and making them butthurt. It's hilarious. The Fonte record, from what I heard so far, it was okay. You know, it's kind of record. It's like some real like emotive, kind of sentimental, like grown man rap. You know what I mean? It's not bad, but you know, I just prefer Little Brother so much more. He just doesn't like jump off the page for me a lot of the time. You know what I mean? So, you know, I'm not sure what my coverage plans on it are. I mean, I'll probably work it into a Why You Know review. It's certainly not a terrible record, but it's not really blown me away or anything, you know. Am I going to VidCon this year? I'm not absolutely sure as of right now, as I'm probably going to be touring this summer. Not so much going to VidCon. Top 5 bass players, any genre. You know, Brian from Lightning Bolt, Jaco Pastorius, Victor Wooten, Bootsy Collins, one more. Who else is an amazing bass player who I love and I look up to and I think is so good? Les Claypool. And Thundercat's amazing as well. So, and I think we'll leave it at that. Let's see. Please check out the track Can't Wait for Love by Phil's Pills. I've had it on a rotation for the past couple of weeks. Phil's Pills. That's a very interesting name as well. Good name, Phil's Pill. That's a name that rhymes, and it's memorable, and it sounds kind of silly. Thoughts on Immortal Technique? Excited for the middle passage? God, is that a new one? I have no idea about anything new that he's doing. But his old stuff, like, you know, Volume 1, Volume 2 are really good. You know, but I feel like he's kind of trailed off over the years. You know, I feel like he's kind of failed to progress, or a lot of the stuff that used to kind of, you know, make his songs good, he's just kind of like still stuck on that idea that's kind of like come and gone. But yeah, I guess that's me. Let's see. Anthony, you have praised Ghostface Killa's Fish Scale album. Yes, it is great. Before, and said it's one of your favorite Wu-Tang solo albums. What are the chances of you doing a classic review on that? I'm not sure if I do a classic review on it, but I am trying to plan on doing a video on the Fantano channel of my 10 favorite solo Wu projects. So that's kind of currently right now what I'm thinking of. So if you you know, want to hear me talk about some more Wu solo shit, I'm probably going to do a video about that on the Fantano channel. How do I feel about Nevermore? Jeff Loomis has personally been one of the most influential guitarists for me personally. Have I heard of his band Conquering Dystopia? Tasty riffs, dough. I don't think I've heard of Conquering Dystopia. No, I don't think I've heard of Conquering Dystopia. Yeah, they came out with a record several years ago. I'm just not aware. You know, when it comes to a lot of you know, again, like that prog metal stuff, I'm just like I suck at it. But Nevermore is definitely one of the better bands in the genre, and I kind of think they balance that sound well with you know, more like a thrash metal vibe. So you know, it kind of has a visceral quality to it, like most thrash metal does. But yeah, I haven't heard of that Conquering Dystopia project. Aside from the Pitbull beef, did you by chance listen to? Oh, and thank you very much, Michael. Have I listened to Swimmer's album Drive North? I don't think I heard it all the way through. No, it's like a fun mix of fiddler and pop punk sound to it. Yeah, it did kind of. That's a good comparison there. I'm starting to get bored of the surf indie shit though. Yeah, it is kind of getting tiresome. The surf indie shit really kind of needs to go. It's really kind of the due date's passed. Opinions on Collection 1 by St. John. I have not heard it. I haven't even heard that record yet, so I can't say. Seems like a lot of you guys are hype on it though. Favorite Gabe Serbian band. Why is Algiers making the best rock music to date? I can't say what my favorite is, honestly, because I'm clueless when it comes to that, but why is Algiers making the best rock music to date? I mean, I think they're certainly one of the best rock bands to date, and I think the reasons that is that they're incorporating new, fresh ideas, different genres into the form. It still has kind of a visceral rock feel. Good instrumentation, great vocal performances, good songwriting too. And I feel like, unlike many other rock bands, I feel like their lyrics, their songs are very much sort of like now. They're very much current. They're not like stuck in the past or nostalgic or anything like that. They're like super current. They're super contemporary. I feel like more people need to sort of appreciate that element of their stuff, appreciate the politics, sort of the background of what they're trying to say with their stuff. Am I a top or a bottom? You know, I'm more of a top, but every once in a while, you know, I'm feeling like I would like to try being a bottom, but I've never met another top or someone who would want to be top. So, you know, that'll just forever be something in my life that's just never fulfilled, I guess. Second time's the charm. Favorite Lou Reed solo album: Berlin Transformer, Street Hassle, and Why It's Easily Transformer. And just because I feel like that record just has the most bangers, you know, just like so many fucking great single tracks. I mean, fucking Walking the Wild Side, love that song. And Vicious is like easily one of the best intro tracks of all time. And also, I mean, I don't know how much you guys pay attention to this shit, but like, you know, next time you listen to Vicious, just like listen to the production of that song. Like listen to the production of Vicious. Like listen to each piece of instrumentation, listen to the way that it's mixed, listen to each sound in the mix of that song. That track which is a great track. It's a genius song, super catchy. It's amazing. But that track was literally created on a fucking shoestring. Like there's so little to that song. Like, you know, every once in a while you hear a guitar squawk, you hear a little bit of a bass line, you hear like a little clunky cowbell thing, like somebody hits a floor tom, like, and that's the fucking song. It's so funny that just like people just like so overthink production sometimes, and you could just go into a song with the simplest, dumbest shit and it just works. So, you know, next time you listen to Vicious, if you haven't already, just like pay super close attention to the way that the instrumentation sounds. Hey, what's the deal with mayonnaise? Is it mayo or is it nays? I think they just call it mayo. Chewing and op. Thank you. If you choose to make your own music one day, what genre would you toy with first? Probably like post-punky dance rock, but I'd probably find a way to like make it noisy and make it psychedelic and get rap features into it. Favorite Anco song? As far as their super earlier or super recent stuff, like, you know, Meriwether Post stuff, I'd probably say Bluish. As far as earlier stuff, I don't know what to say. I'm not sure. And thoughts on Ween? I mean, I just did a Ween classic review. Did you see I did a Ween classic review? I did a classic review of Chocolate and Cheese. And favorite LCD Sound System song? God damn. It might be You Wanted a Hit. It might be. Yeah, I think, or maybe Us v Them. It's probably one of those. Also, you better review Demon Days for Classics Week. Maybe. Or I could do a Gorilla's Worst to Best. Although I know there's probably another album coming out soon. Thoughts on Little Ugly Mane and Mr. Thug Isolation? I mean, I used to not be that crazy about Little Ugly Mane because I thought Mr. Thug Isolation was a little gimmicky, and it is kind of gimmicky, but that doesn't necessarily mean it's not a good LP. I find his later sort of more experimental, crazy, out there shit a little bit more interesting, and I hope he drops more music soon. You know, I guess that's just what I'm hoping for right now in the moment. Got that, and, you know, again, Saturated, thank you, and yes, I did thank you. Joga, thank you. You're going to make a UMO sex and food review, right? First impressions so far, I don't think it's as good as their last one, but I am planning on doing coverage of it. I am planning on doing some kind of review. Would I ever consider making music of your own? Since you are so critical of music, do I not think you would make good music? I mean, I don't really think, you know, it would be whether or not I make good music or not. I mean, I think I'm capable of kind of pulling together some instrumentation, pulling together a song like most people are, especially in an age where, like, they make it so easy with DAWs to just, like, compose a song. You know what I mean? Not to say that it doesn't take talent. It certainly does. But, you know, right now I'm kind of just, like, managing Cal Chuchesta because he has songs coming out, and we're just kind of, like, working on that. And, You know, would I be able to make good music? I mean, potentially. You know, I do like playing my bass, and you know, I do like kind of fiddling around with instruments. But would I want making music to be my career? Like, no, probably not. Like, would I want to do like a music tour and like, you know, sign to Def Jam or something? I mean, no, probably not. You know, I feel like I kind of have a good independent thing going on now that I would just kind of like to do this. I don't know if I just want to be like a, you know, super, you know, living a super hectic, you know, musician type life. You know, I'm much more of a low key guy. However, that doesn't mean like, you know, would I ever not release music? I mean, maybe I would, and then I just wouldn't like, you know, maybe not tour, or maybe not tour at all, or not much, or just like not try to do a PR campaign or something, because I don't really care. Will the hype for the new Tool album have a huge influence on the review when it comes out in 7 years? Super late to Alex Cameron train, but holy shit, it's amazing on repeat repeatedly. Yes. Like, that was one of my most repeated albums last year, the Alex Cameron album. It's so fucking good. It's so fucking good. But yeah, the hype probably will kill it. It'll kill the record. The hype will kill it. Gabe Serbian of The Locust. Oh, okay. Dead Cross, Retox. Okay. Super group with Blood Brothers. Yaz. Oh, is he in a super group with Blood Brothers? In Cattle Decapitation. Oh, he's affiliated with them as well. Dude, that guy's fucking everywhere. You know, the last Cattle Decapitation record was fantastic. And as far as like kind of that spazzy, crazy, experimental, like punk metal shit, like you can't really beat the Locust. Like early Locust, early The Daughters, like that shit was fucking amazing. I don't really know. I feel like it's kind of in a weird category and genre all its own, like a weird spazcore kind of genre or something. And I don't know, man. It had a really cool moment in the 2000s, and then it just like kind of disappeared slowly. And I don't know really why it disappeared or where it went or why people stopped caring about it. But honestly, like, it was some pretty cool stuff. Did I say The Daughters? I didn't mean The Daughters. You know, I just meant to say Daughters. I apologize. I'm old. Okay, I'm old. If I Like Music Has Right to Children by Boards of Canada, what other electronic music should I check out? You should probably check out, what is it am I thinking of that LFO? No, that's not what I'm thinking of. Fuck. Well, here's one thing. I think that you should. I gotta check out that person's Twitter later. I think that you should check out the ambient music starter pack that me and Oliver did on my Fantano channel not too long ago, and I think that you should check out probably some Tangerine Dream stuff, because you know they kind of do that intense kind of somewhat droney experimental progressive synth stuff as well. And then I would get into like some IDM stuff like Underworld and that type of shit. So hopefully that's, you know, some good recommendations. Would I do Boy Into Corner review for Classics Week? I mean, that is kind of a groundbreaking classic record at this point. So I don't know. It could potentially, but should Julian Cass... Oh, wait. Fernando, thank you. Joe, thank you. Hunter, thank you. QT Brown, thank you. I'm sorry if I'm forgetting to say thank you. Should Julian Casablanca stop making music with the Strokes and just solely focus on the Voids? Yes. Darren, yes. He should do that. Julian, if you're listening, stop making music with the Strokes. Just make music with the Voids. There you go. Chloe, my one on Falco didn't get read, so I'll do it again. Falco was one of the most the most 80s musician, and his cheese is underrated. Also, what's the best Cat Stevens album? IMO, It's Numbers. I don't know, I'm not really that big into Cat Stevens, honestly. Like, his music is just like maybe a little too mellow for me. I could never really get that deep into his shit. Maybe I'm just like, maybe there's not like a big enough of like I feel like you have to have a little bit of hippie in you to get into some Cat Stevens. You know, he's certainly the master of chill and has some very... his songs are just so incomparably peaceful. And I don't know. They just have like this wonderfully mellow joy to them that I don't know. I just can't. It's not terrible, but I don't know. I feel like I have too much wrong going inside of me internally, or emotionally or mentally, in order to just like allow the vibe of his music to just grab me and take hold, you know. But I do appreciate the vibe of other people who can get into it. I feel like being around other people who are into Cat Stevens helps me appreciate it a little bit more. But hey, you know what? Honestly, I'm older now, and maybe I'm at a point where I'm ready to mellow out. You know, let me write myself a reminder up here. I need to write myself a reminder because you know what? Maybe I'll have you know, an opportunity over here to sort of right a wrong. And you know, I was just thinking about this the other day though. Like, I really hope, like, I was sitting in the car and thinking, man, I hope I never mellow the fuck out. I hope I'm always, because honestly, I feel like I'm less mellow now than I was when I was a kid. And I sort of wonder if, as I get older, am I going to grow more intense? Am I going to become a more intense person, become like crazy? Could be my reality 20 years down the road. Could be my reality in the future. But I'm sort of wondering if I'm going to do that or if I'm going to mellow out. But again, I guess maybe in a way I don't want that, because again, as I was sitting in the car, I was thinking, fuck, I hope I never mellow the fuck out. I just always want to be, fuck you. I just never mellowing out. Never. No fucking chill for the rest of my life. Andrew, thank you. Fantano, sometimes I can't get into certain genres/subgenres due to my mood, headspace, etc. Do you ever find yourself not in the mood to listen to certain genres? Does it affect your listening to new shiz, X's, so on and so forth? Sometimes I can't really listen to older records if, you know, for enjoyment, if I'm not in the mood to listen to it. You know what I mean? But for me, usually, if I can't review an album and I'm in a mood, it's typically because I'm in like just a shit mood and I don't feel well. You know, maybe I'm sick or I'm having a really terrible day or something horrible is going on that's distracting me from doing what I need to do. You know, then I'm probably in a state where I can't review an album no matter what genre it is. But typically it doesn't really matter kind of what the mood or the genre is when I'm reviewing it, because kind of reviewing is a very different headspace than just enjoying, you know what I mean? So it typically isn't a big deal. But when it comes to purely enjoyment, yeah, I pretty much have to be in a mood for some albums, for some records. Check out Kenny vs. Spenny. It's one of the best TV shows ever made, and all the episodes are on YouTube. Okay, that sounds good. Kenny vs. Spenny. That's another catchy name. That would even make for a good band name. Thoughts on the band Royal Trucks and its subgroups, Howling Hex and Black Bananas. Royal Trucks, I just think are, excuse me, I just think's okay, although I haven't heard of the subgroups. Trucks is my obsession band, and Twin Infinitives is my favorite record. Trucks got slept on. Neil is a good guitarist. Love his slop. YYYBB, thank you. But yeah, I'll have to screenshot that. I have not heard of those subgroups, so maybe I'll dig those. Hey, Anthony, I love you. Oh, I love you too, Mr. Girlfriend. Thank you. JC Hodges. Hey, I've been a big fan of your channel as of recently, and I was wondering if you are familiar with Six Dogs. What's your thoughts on him if you are? I'm not familiar with Six Dogs. Is it Six Dogs or is it Bedogs, sort of in the way that guy with the name Black has a 6 in front of his name or something? No, I'm not familiar with Six Dogs, but thank you for the support, JC. And I don't know, I'll try to give it a shot if I get a chance. Thoughts on Nickelback? You know, these days I think Nickelback is getting way too much hate because they're not even relevant anymore. Like, who even cares that Nickelback is bad? But back in the day, they were terrible and they were shit and they deserved all the negativity that was thrown their way. But the thing is, like, back then they had fans. You know, nowadays they don't really have that many fans. So it's like, you know, why you gotta hate on Nickelback? They're not even relevant anymore. Leave Nickelback alone. Like, honestly, like I feel like Lil Xan makes worse music than Nickelback. There's way shittier music, new shittier music happening right now that's way worse than Nickelback. And honestly, like, I don't even think Nickelback was the worst band of their time. You know, worst than Nickelback, Godsmack. Godsmack is worse than Nickelback. Godsmack sucks. Like, at least Nickelback could write a straightforward, catchy, memorable song. You know? Like, look at this photograph. I'd rather listen to that song 20 times in a row than hear a single Godsmack song fucking once. Godsmack sucks, okay? Like, even some of their most hype and catchy songs are absolute shit, and the vocals are fucking ridiculous. I don't like you day to day. You know me here anywhere. He's like a bad Eddie Vedder. It's terrible. Okay, it's terrible. Godsmack is awful. Way worse band than Nickelback, and deserve way more negativity. Do I ever enjoy bands like Audioslave, Bad Religion, or Pearl Jam? Back in the day, I did enjoy Audioslave because I was a hardcore Rage Against the Machine fan, and I wanted to follow that because I did enjoy Soundgarden, and I was a big Tom Morello fan, and I was just fans of those. I was just a fan of those guys. So I was like, oh, they started a band together. I mean, honestly, like the album at the end of the day isn't that good, but still, it was decent for its time. Bad Religion, I'm not really kind of crazy on a lot of that melodic punk stuff, but they're still a solid band with a lot of good lyrics. And Pearl Jam, not my favorite of the grunge era, but they had some good tunes back in the day. Also, do I like the new releases by Shinedown? God, they're still at it? Shinedown is still putting out new music? That's like more surprising than hearing 311 is coming out with new music. I didn't even know it was the fucking case. New music from Shinedown? God, everybody's still doing it, man. Everybody's still doing it. I mean, I haven't heard it, but I didn't even know it was there. Thank you, Hamad. Does classic rock get worse every year? I like Turtles. I think classic rock is the same every year. Does taste get worse every year? Does taste get worse every year? It might. So if classic rock is getting worse, it's probably because everybody's taste is turning to shit. You ever heard of a band called Beaty Heart? They make good-ass experimental and at times psychedelic pop with unorthodox instrumentation. Banana Bread is a sick intro track. No, I have not heard of that, but again, I'm going to punch that into the search for later. But again, somewhat memorable band name there. Not the best band name, but certainly more memorable than like single word used in everyday language. Like, please, come on, get creative. Need more details on your Ween opinion mentioned earlier. Have you dug into any albums other than Chocolate and Cheese, and what are those? The few albums that they came out with after that, Quebec as well. I don't know. I mean, they just kind of write kooky all over the place songs that are very funny and have a lot of personality and incorporate a lot of wild, inventive instrumentation, and just the versatility of the group is pretty much unparalleled. I mean, what the fuck else is there to say? Ween forever. I did that review of Chocolate and Cheese. Dean Ween emailed me, and he's like, hey man, that was one of the best reviews we ever got, period. Even like back during the day, like, Rolling Stone, so on and so forth. Whenever we get a review, like, we still didn't, like, people would like give us backhanded compliments or would say, stuff that didn't really take the band seriously, even if they were like being mostly positive on it. And, shoot me your P.O. box. I'll send you some shit. And he hasn't sent me anything yet. I'm like sitting here wondering, like, not that I want a thing from him, but I'm just sort of wondering, like, will he send a letter? Like, will he send some kind of crazy, rare memento or something? I'm just like excited to see what the hell he would send. I wonder if he'll send a crazy thing because he's Dean Ween and probably has I don't know, some weird stuff that he wants to share. Or maybe he'll just I think he has a new solo record coming out soon, so maybe he'll send that. I don't know. But moving on from there. Do you have any future plans to return to any of the shitpost style videos from That Is the Plan? They got me pretty kooky in the past. I love you so much, Anthony. P.S. Bottomless Pit is better than the Money Store. Fuck you, Devin. Thank you very much. I do want to review memes once more, but I'm just sort of pitching that series to a few different platforms at the moment, and that's just kind of where I'm at right now. So, yeah, that's where I'm at. What are your thoughts on Pat the Bunny, Johnny Hobo? What are your thoughts on Days and Days? What are your thoughts on folk punk in general? I think it's sort of had its time in the sun, and it's kind of, I don't know. There's, I feel like a lot of it's very indignant and just, I don't know, a little bit too, just trying to proclaim something of significance, just too much, like trying to be just a little too overly dramatic in a way. But there's a lot of good folk punk out there. You know, I can't hate on the genre. There's a lot of good folk punk shit. And I guess in my opinion, and maybe it was just more my mood at the time, but when I was in college and folk punk was a relatively somewhat newer thing, or at least it was having like a little bit of a renaissance, you know, there was more interesting stuff going on, you know, back then, like when I was in college, in my opinion. Like these days, I'm not hearing a whole lot of newer folk punk stuff that's stopping me in my tracks, though Days and Days probably came the closest than any band ever has in a long time. Like they're actually like a pretty good band. So if you like folk punk, or even if you don't listen to that much folk punk, look up Days and Days because they have some good shit. Let's see. Do I think the Internet's new album will be better or worse than better or worse after Steve Lacy? Sid and the group took 2017 for solo work. Can they find their same cohesion? I don't know, honestly. Like I've never been that crazy about the internet, so you know, here's the thing. Maybe doing stuff solo made each of them improve, you know? So, you know, maybe they're going to come back as a group better than ever. Who the hell knows? You know, at least in that time apart, they were doing something. You know what I mean? There is that to be said for them. Thank you very much. AJ Clark. I'm going to do a few more. Hey, Antoine, Fantoine, enjoy the Flatbush Zombies review. Do you think they peaked at Better Off Dead? I mean, as of right now, yes. But could they get better in the future? Yes. So, I don't know. It's like, yeah, I don't want to count them out entirely, but as of right now, I feel like Better Off Dead is their best. I still really like Marilyn Manson's The Pale Emperor. I think he went into an awesome direction. Do you still like it? I still think it's okay, yeah. Also, are you sick of My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy score following you? Let it out. No, I mean, I think it's fine. You know, the score is how I felt. And, you know, for the most part, still how I feel to this day. So, yeah, I don't know. I mean, if people dislike it, then people dislike it. I mean, at least, like, people are having a conversation or thinking about why it is they like a certain thing or being sort of potentially conflicted. You know, because if people didn't feel anything as a result of that review, I don't think they'd say anything. So, you know, I'm making people feel things and think things about the way that they listen to things and the way that they like things and why they like things. So at the end of the day, that's my goal and that's my job. You know, even if I am going to have moments where we don't see eye to eye, you know, that's my job. LOL, it's Six Dogs, but yeah, he's an up-and-coming artist from Atlanta, and he has a new video out with Cole Bennett called Butt Cheeks. What? I honestly, like, I just need to, I don't think I've subscribed to the Lyrical Lemonade YouTube channel. I don't think have I subscribed to that? I thought I did. No, I haven't. Okay, well, no, wait, it says I'm not signed in. So maybe I am subscribed to it. But I think I just need to subscribe to the Lyrical Lemonade channel and just make sure I don't miss hot drops like Butt Cheeks by Six Dogs. I also have to listen to Juice WRLD. I got a lot of people asking me yesterday about Juice WRLD. I don't know anything about that yet, but apparently it's the newest, hottest thing, Juice WRLD. What are your favorite emo / post-hardcore Scrams albums? You know, love myself some Loma Prieta. Love myself some Page 99. Love myself some fucking Seisha. Those are probably some of the better ones in my opinion. And you know, they're not a Scrams band, but Captain Jazz is amazing. Let's see. Moving on from there. Thank you, Robert. Sam Smith, thank you. Are you guys related, Robert Smith and Sam Smith? You guys might be brothers. Now that the dust has settled, where would you rank Thank You for Your Service in Tribe's discography? Oh, I don't know. Like, well, let me look. Tribe Called Quest. Where would I rank it in their discography? Let's see. I would definitely rank it under Midnight Marauders and Low End Theory. It would go over Beats, Rhyme, Life, and the Love Movement for sure. But would it go over? Yeah, I'd probably put it over Instinctive Travels too. So yeah, I think it's their third best record. I think it's their third. Yeah. Yeah, I'd say it's their third best. Oh, and Tribe would be a great worst to best. They'd be great. They'd be a good-ass one. Thoughts on Rex Orange County? He's a nice, sweet white boy doing those sweet white boy soul songs, and they're very nice. They're very pleasant. They're very quaint, and some of them are quite catchy. I'm definitely looking forward to his next LP, and next time I see him, I would definitely give him a hug. I just saw him at Shrine and I loved it. Oh, I would be interested in seeing him live for sure. And thank you very much, Noah Frank. Have I considered listening or considered reviewing Born Like This for Classics Week? It's easily my favorite MF Doom record. I mean, it's one of my favorites too. I think it's underrated, but I think my feelings on it have pretty much been stated in the MF Doom worst to best. So honestly, I'd probably leave it at that. Finally listened to Meriwether Post Pavilion, one of the catchiest alternative albums ever. Any similar albums you would recommend? I wouldn't say it's similar, but I think you should probably look up other indie albums at the time that were super popular, or bands at the time that were super popular, like, like let's say, maybe you should check out some Wolf Parade. Maybe you should check out some, I don't know, like another band that the band Braids is kind of very similar to Animal Collective sonically and stylistically. So maybe you might dig on them quite a bit. You might dig some of the weird stuff Black Dice does if you like some of Animal Collective's more experimental stuff. And maybe dig on some Grizzly Bear too. Some early, like Yellow House Grizzly Bear. You might dig on some Yellow House Grizzly Bear. Any semblance of expectations or predictions formulated that in that melon for the upcoming Snitch year? Not as of right now, no. I mean, I'm really hyped to hear Linda's in Custody. I think that's the Death Grip song I'm most excited to hear right now. That and Little Richard. And Disappointment. Maybe Death Grips is purposely making a shit album because they put a track on the end called Disappointment after the outro. So that kind of seems like a statement in and of itself. Anthony Fantano, if you have any, what are your thoughts on the group Steely Dan? I enjoy your reviews. I need to probably do a classic review of Steely Dan, honestly. Because I get so many questions, honestly, I do. And maybe I should just fucking... Maybe I should just do a Steely Dan review and just like get it over with and just like, hush all the rumors, you know what I mean? But thank you very much for the suggestion. Favorite Tetsuya Yoshida project, ever heard anything by Ganesh? I haven't, but I'm just going to have to save this recommendation and see. But yeah, as of right now, I don't have one picked out. And this will be the last one. Or what are your thoughts on Cosmo Pike? He only dropped that one EP so far, but each track was amazing. Where have I heard? I know that name. Again, catchy name, but I can't recall the music. Cosmo Pike. When did I hear that? Okay, maybe I didn't. Yeah, I must not have heard this. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'll save it. I'll just see. But that name is so familiar, though. I must have heard people talking about his stuff last year. But I'm gonna leave it at that. I'm gonna try to see if there are a few that I missed down here toward the bottom. Thoughts on Pavement. Pavement's cool. Not a big Pavement fan though. I mean, they're not terrible, but I guess they're just not one of my favorite bands either. That slacker indie shit, I guess, just don't do too much for me, I suppose. But, Crooked Rain's a very good record. Let's see. I got that. I'm trying to see if ones that I missed. And did that. I am going to review the Sons of Kemet. I am planning on covering that. Thank you very much. Thank you. I skipped my first question. Thoughts on Black Angels and Bass Drum of Death? I don't know. They both got kind of an old school rock sound, but neither of the bands really kind of has like neither of them really kind of like stand out to me, you know, stylistically. Like they both are just kind of like so-so in my opinion. I don't know. That's just me, I guess. Please read this. I always get skipped. Would I ever do a best to worst on Cure, Beck, or Swans? It would be epic to do either, but it would take up so much time. And the next worst to best I want to do, I kind of want to be like, you know, maybe 5 albums, 6 album discography, not like an 8, 9, or 10, or 12, or 13 album discography. Just go easy on me. Go easy on me on the next one, okay? I just want an easy one on the next one. If I had to redo my MF Doom worst to best, where would I put the Czarface Metalface album? I mean, definitely above JJ Doom, but I don't know if I would put it much higher. Hey, I've been thinking of your channel recently. I've been wondering if you're familiar with your thoughts on him. Oh wait, yeah, you asked that. I got that one. Anthony, I love you. Got that. Do I ever think there will be a drummer that's influential and creates the complexities of Neil Peart in modern rock? Also Radiohead bracket. I'm not doing any more brackets for the rest of the year. We'll have to wait for the next March Madness. But do I ever think there will be another Neil Peart? I don't know. You know, I don't think so. You know, I mean, there will probably be other drummers out there who are just as skilled or more skilled, but will they get as mainstream as Neil did? Maybe not necessarily, especially since I don't think like, you know, drummers, not that we don't need drummers anymore, but I feel like there's not so much an obsession with sort of musicianship and virtuosity in the mainstream like I think there used to be. You know, maybe still when it comes to singing, absolutely when it still comes to singing, but, you know, as far as like raw instrumental talent, it's not quite the market that I think it used to be. You know, because it's all about production right now. It's all about DAWs. It's all about just like, you know, concepts and ideas and just like, you know, producing that on a computer and just passing that over to the audience. I got that. I see you follow HD Ben Dope on Twitter. You heard any of his recent... I have not heard any of his recent stuff, unfortunately, but thank you, Zartimi. I will only be able to stay for a few more minutes. Denounce polio now. I will. Polio sucks. Thoughts on Capacity by Big Thief. I just think it's okay. Comparison to the first album, Masterpiece, I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't really say the record's a masterpiece. I think it's just kind of so-so. You know, it didn't really stand out to me, honestly. Like, it's not bad. I mean, I understand the appeal of it, but where's the Sister Cities review? I don't really know. I have no idea. I really have no idea. I've covered the Wonder Years before. I don't really care for their stuff. So, I mean, I don't really know if you want a Wonder Years review, honestly. Like, I just find their music to just be overly dramatic and just kind of weak. I'm sorry to all the Wonder Years fans. I'm just not like a big Wonder Years guy. So if I do cover it, I'm probably just going to say something negative about it. I'll just say that. Got it. Yes, I do still listen to music for fun and pleasure. Still think Violent Sheep of Reason is NG. Oh, yes. Yeah. Violent Sleep of Reason. Yes, absolutely. Thoughts on Divorce Lawyers, I Shaved My Head by Jordan Mason. I think it's all right. You know, it's very tortured. It's very sad, but I don't think the songs are that interesting. Let's see. I'm just trying to go back and get some ones that I missed, guys. I'm not trying to do like any super new ones. You know, although I will try to hit up a few if I missed them, you know, because I'm not telling everybody. Okay, I got these are all familiar to me. Cage versus Eminem. Eminem's better. I heard DJ Academics talk about forming some sort of new wave music media, curating the Adam 22, blah blah blah. Have you heard of those thoughts? Yeah, I think I'm flying solo. I think I'm flying solo on that. They also said in their conversation that they would need a more hip hop Anthony Fantano. So I don't think I'm really in the picture of that conversation anyway. So let's see. What is my favorite scent? What is my favorite scent? I love cinnamon. Cinnamon's a good scent. Cinnamon's a good one. Melon, way to skip my questions. I'm sorry. Have I heard of Rollo Tomasi? Yes. I think that their clean vocals are super boring and bland and sanitary and lifeless and are not good to my ears. If you have, what are your opinions on their new album? It's my current album of the year. Yeah, I'm just not fucking with the new Rollo Tomasi, unfortunately. Bands that transition into that super angelic, ethereal, like mystical storybook, sing-songy vocal style is just like a huge turnoff for me. I just don't get it. I just don't see the appeal in it at all. And Rollo Tomasi is one of those bands, unfortunately. Yes, I'm excited for the DG album. Any general thoughts on ska? The first and second wave were amazing. Listen to everything that you can on Trojan Records. And the two-tone shit was amazing. You know, specials, all that stuff. Scatolites as well. Hello, you're my personal favorite reviewer on YouTube. I know you focus more on music, but what are your top favorite movies? Some of my favorite movies are Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. Fucking The Big Lebowski. And No Country for Old Men. Those are three of my favorites. I got shit-ass taste with movies. I haven't tried the new Bishop Nehru yet. And the Yaij, I think her beats are kind of cool. You know, it's all right. Do I have a favorite controversial review? I mean, when it comes to dislikes, far surpass. Like, what makes it the favorite? Is it like the reaction, or is it the quality of the review? You know what I mean? I think one of the funniest or most intense reactions that people have had to a negative review, honestly, was probably the Schoolboy Q. Like, I literally had people, like, I had hundreds of people unsubscribing that day. Like, it was a lot of people unsubscribing over that review. You know, which is honestly, like, a little different from the norm because, you know, people typically, like, they'll give me shit if they disagree with me, but, like, typically I don't see the amount of unsubscriptions that I did, like, in that Schoolboy Q. So that was a strong reaction to the Q review, for sure. Let me see. Thank you very much to everyone. Thank you to everyone. Thank you to everything. Got it. Any recommendations for some metal in the gym? Vector Black Future. Billie Eilish's EP is okay. Her singing is so-so, honestly. I'm so dumb I didn't send a message. How hype are you for Death Grips? Very hype. Thoughts on how you're a stupid frickin' idiot? Yeah, I'm pretty much a stupid frickin' idiot. You know, I'm a big stupid frickin' idiot. But hey, if a stupid frickin' idiot can get this far, think of what you can do. I think I'm doing pretty good for a stupid frickin' idiot. Thank you very much, Jacob. What up, Mano? Have I listened to? Yes, you asked me that. I got that. Got that. I have not heard that Ron Miles. Daisy, I'm sorry. Sorry again about missing your question earlier, Villainy. Should I do my laundry? Yes. Fun is fun, right? Yes, fun is fun, Derek. That is true. Okay. Yes. Okay. Thoughts on modern trance and John? Yes, I think I talked about that earlier, but I'm not much of a trance guy. What do you think could really shake up hip hop in the next few years? I think in the next few years, hip hop is going to see a grunge moment. You know, a lot of this trap is going to reach a peak where it's just so inauthentic and repetitive and formulaic, and it's going to open up the doors for somebody to just kind of like break it down. Hey, would I review Demon Days Classic Review? Potentially. Yeah, and they do have a new record dropping later this year, and I hope it's better than Humans. God, I hope it's better than Humans. That's all I really want from the new Gorillaz album. Do not suck as bad as Humans. That's all I fucking want. Better than Humans. That's what I desire. What is my favorite meme song? Good question. What is my favorite meme song? Maybe the Hamster Dance. It's my favorite. It's one of my favorite meme songs. Or Was Not Was, Walk the Dinosaur. It's a good meme song. Let's argue trap is the new metal of rap and Cardi B is Limp Bizkit. Potentially, maybe. Okay, let me try to hit up a few of these new ones because I'm pretty sure I got all that earlier stuff because the comments weren't coming in so fast then. I have listened to Mum, that kind of experimental, orchestral, somewhat post-rocky type shit. You know, they have some good stuff. I don't know anything about Brain Bombs. Tool is cool, and I am looking forward to the new Tool record. Their past discography is solid as fuck. I mean, their weakest record is probably 10,000 Days, and that album isn't even that bad. Thoughts on the new Kraus album, Path? I talked about it in a Why You Know review. I think it's pretty good. Production's great. Coconut Gun, Fire and Spurts, favorite Cure album. Probably Pornography or Kiss Me. Predictions for Yachts. I don't have any predictions really, honestly, at this point. I just have hopes and dreams and aspirations. And I hope that Death Grips continue to break new ground and try new shit. I think Home Shake is mostly boring. Burial Untrue for Classics Week. I don't know, maybe one day. Darian, thank you. Red Menace, thank you. Soupman, thank you. Brandon, thank you. Deepest, thank you. Calorie, thank you. Ryan, thank you. Mr. Sharklane, thank you. Thank you again, everybody. Best Pink Floyd album, and my favorite is maybe Animals. Thoughts on CKY? Never been a CKY guy, honestly. You ready for Denzel Curry to take over the game with Taboo? He could potentially, as long as he doesn't drop another verse like he did on the closer to that Flatbush Zombies record. MC Ride did not hook me up with a early copy of Yachts. I wish. And I want to make sure I don't miss this one. What is your most and least favorite 80s metal band? Least favorite 80s metal band? Oh, good question. I don't know. Probably Poison is one of the worst. One of the best is probably like, Van Halen or maybe like a little Cheap Trick or something. Those are probably. Although does Cheap Trick apply? I think of them in that sense, but I think they kind of predated some of that stuff to a degree. I mean, they debuted in 1977, and I mean so it's not too bad. They were a big influence on a lot of those bands, and they saw quite a bit of success during that very era of music. So, if not them, then Skid Row had some decent records. Skid Row. And watching your channel for 4 years, I just wanted to say thank you for being such a positive influence on my life, inspiring me to get more into music and being able to show new stuff to my friends and family. Gerg McCurg, thank you very much for watching. Or McCurg, yeah. Thank you very much for watching. I appreciate it. And, it's all in a day's work for a melon, okay? I've been going almost 2.5 hours now, guys. I have to, end it at this point and, call it quits. I'm sorry. I just don't have the... I have other stuff I got to do. I got to go work on my Caliuchis. I got to go work on that Caliuchis. So I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. And you know, that's all. You know, I'm sorry to anybody whose question I didn't get to. I'm sorry I couldn't get to all of them. I never can, but, you know, it's always a little bit of a crapshoot, but I try to answer as many as possible. And I guarantee you this live stream will be up on the Fantano channel tomorrow. Okay, I apologize for, you know, lacking on that a little bit. Die Melon, Fantano for life, Good Night Sweet Melon, Goodbye Melon, Ice Age, Sir, I was missed, I apologize, UK post-punk band Lice released an EP, good live shows worth a listen, sounds good. Buy My Sweet Melon, Get a Grip Buddy, Dad, Love You Gavin, Oh My God, Ass, Food is Tasty, Please Whip, Call Enough, Lick Me, Hi Mom, Hit the Yeet, Dad, Love You Daddy, Hi Boo, Video Now, See You Later, UMO Review, Sexy Melon, Sleepy Time for Melon, Say My Name Baby, Stay Golden, Buy Melon Head, The Poops, The Garden, I Love Gavin, Have a Great Day Melon, I Love You Melon, Spam, Logic Over Kendrick, UMO, The Thick Vegan, I Was Now Mentioned, Buy Melon, Pancake, Poops, The Sketch Company, Fears, Melon, Sexy Melon, Buy Melon, Something Taylor, R.I.P. Melon, 88 Fingers, Louis, Yacht is out right now. Oh, is it out? British Melon, R.I.P. Kurt Cobain, Fahuvwagats, Wonder Years Review, and you guys are the best. Love you.